Sport pregame show here on 1550 AM, the Sports Hunt, and on the web, CogSports.com. Time to visit head coach Gary Thomas, brought to you by Kelly Hendricks DDS. Kelly Hendricks DDS, where a smile you can see for a mile. Kelly Hendricks. Coach, tough game last week. Finally get back home today. Played Team Fort Scott. As I read in the paper today, you said identical records, but, you know, there's a little bit of difference in the teams that they played that we beat and whatnot. But going over and looking at their stats last night, defensively, it looks like they got a couple linebackers that really scat to the ball and really are the heart and soul of that defense. Is that going to be a problem today? Because as you said in the paper interview, you're going to have to keep it on the ground, and who's going to be able to win the running game?
No, I don't think they're any more talented than any of the other guys we faced. I mean, so it's not like they're game planning them. You know, they do a pretty good job on defense. They really do. They've kind of held some people at bay, and you know, schematically they're sound in what they do, and secondary plays pretty good on the back end, and the defensive line does a pretty good job getting after the run game and the quarterback. So, you know, linebackers, I think, are maybe just a byproduct of, you know, a good scheme, obviously, and they make the plays that they're supposed to make.
Right. Really hadn't forced any turnovers defensively. I think they had just one pick on the season, one defensive touchdown. Offensively, they like to get in a hurry-up mode or whatever, and last couple of times we played them when Coach Pick was the OC there, they really got us gassed a couple of times, but we got out of there with victories. Is that something that they do again this year? Are they a high-tempo offense?
It looks like it. Again, on film, you can't see all those things. The things that you can see is in between a few of the snaps here and there, the referee's hurrying to get out of there, and they're snapping it right after that ball's down. So I would believe that they're probably still going up tempo. You know, statistically, though, I mean, they're only averaging 290 some yards a game on offense. I think the quarterback's got 4 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. The guy they're playing at running back now is listed as a wide receiver and plays wide receiver, and he's averaging less than a yard a carry. So I think they're really, struggling to find an identity, and I think they get most of that through the air. And you know, I think our defense, for what they do, again, other than us being gassed and maybe getting some miscommunication calls where people aren't doing what they're supposed to do, I feel like we match up really well with them. I don't have any guys that I think that are true burners that we have to be concerned about. I mean, the receivers, they're capable guys that I don't feel like they'll get behind us. And again, in today's environment, even if you get behind somebody, it's hard to get the ball to the guy that you're getting behind. But you know, I feel like our defense, I feel like this is a good matchup for them, and I would hope that if we can just keep them on par with what they've been doing in the first 5 games, and I think if we hold them to 14 points and under 300 yards total offense, I think we'd have a hard time not winning the football game.
All right, defensively, are we getting anybody back that wasn't there last week?
No. Brayjon's still out, and Lewis Chandler's still out. But, you know, Jordan and Damian play just fine at corner, and defensive line, we've been rotating guys there, you know, all season anyway. So we're as healthy as we've been for the most part. I think Dakota's going to start today at safety. That would be the only switch on defense, but he's played a lot for us for the last 2 years, so that's not a big deal.
All right, offensively, how do you feel you guys match up against these guys defensively today?
Well, I feel like we can throw the ball again, barring wind.
Right.
I feel like there's plenty of opportunities in the passing game to get open, and I feel like we should be able to sustain runs. You know, I think one of the keys to the game is going to be, you know, and I told them in the paper yesterday, there's going to be about 10 or 12 snaps, I think, in the game where we need to run the ball. They know we're going to run the ball, and if we run the ball, we'll be successful and be able to sustain drives. And if we can't, then it could go back and forth. So I think sustainability in the run game at times is going to be really important.
Right. I think Caden wants to get a day with a calm wind.
You know, we'll see. I mean, if anyone should have an advantage, it's the kid that grew up here.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, we have the advantage of practicing in it too, and when you come from the east side of the state, I know Cale grew up here, but you know, the fact is that his quarterback didn't. So
right.
When you don't get a chance, when you get to throw about 50 balls in warm-ups and then you got to go play in it, it does have its challenges. So you know, we'll see. But it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you know, we have to manage these things. It is what it is, and it's where we live. I get it, but you know, I think it's more fun to figure out who the better football team is, and you know, to figure out who can run their scheme better and whose players are more locked in, rather than, you know, who has some unfortunate mistakes because of Mother Nature. But I feel like the weather, I feel like the special teams game is something that we can really capitalize on because of the wind. In the past couple games, I felt like us and Indy and us and Butler were very even football teams. So with the wind to our back, I really felt like it was going to be a push, and it was going to be who managed the drives into the wind better than the other team, right. Which for the most part ended up being pretty close to true. I think this one's going to be if we can jump on their back in the 2 quarters where we have the wind to our back. We're going to come after them on their punt team and put some pressure on them. They seem to have some issues with snap to punter and punter getting in and out of his hands. So we're going to put pressure on them. If we can get one, we'll get one. But I think even just applying pressure to them is going to make them speed up the process of and kicking into this wind. It's going to be it's going to be an interesting ordeal for everybody. So I feel like if we can somehow get 17 to 21 in 2 of those quarters. And then manage the other 2 quarters in the wind. I feel like they'll be hard-pressed to score with us if we can do that.
All righty, Coach. I appreciate the time. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hey, Coach Gary Thomas here with us on the Lewis Ford pregame show, brought to you by Kelly Hendricks CDS. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineup. You're listening to the Cock Radio Network.
It can be tough to find a good diesel mechanic. So why not trust the professionally trained mechanics at Lewis Ford? We are a full-service diesel facility and can work on any truck up to an F550. Plus, we make it affordable to get the work done. Take advantage of our oil change special where you can get 4 diesel oil changes for just $219.95. Schedule your diesel service today at Lewis Ford at Dodge City. Now open Saturdays from 9 until 4.
Life's full of decisions, and one of the decisions you're going to have to make, do I still keep coming back to this hack dentist?
They're killing me. Why are they killing me?
And with over 70 choices in the Yellow Pages, how do you know which dentist to pick? Well, that's easy. You pick Kelly Hendricks DDS. Kelly's been in business for over 30 years, and he has comprehensive family dentistry from infants to adults. It's located at 100 Ross Boulevard, Building 2, Suite C, Dodge City, Kansas. Number 620-225-6555. Kelly Hendricks, the dentist, is just like us.
I put my pants on, one leg at a time.
Hey, Bill, you ever been to a chiropractor?
No, I haven't, but I did have someone stand on my back. They stayed at the Holiday Inn Express the night before.
Well, that's no good. Let me put you in contact with a real chiropractor. Dr. Jason Joy, located at 900 West Frontview, Suite 101. He specializes in sports medicine, acupuncture, soft tissue, and rock tape. You know what rock tape is, Bill?
Nope.
I'll have Dr. Joy tell you all about it. Give him a call today at 620-225-8677.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Winter Livestock. Winter Live, taking care of the Southwest Kansas cattlemen since 1936. You want more bucks for your beef? You give Brian and the boys a call at 620-225-4159. Take a look. Fort Scott has the ball. Offensively, they're putting up 297 yards a game, 123 on the ground, 174 through the air. Giving up 10 quarterback sacks on this season. They are completing, 68% of their passes. They've thrown 10 picks. They've had 3 fumbles. They've lost all 3. They are 33% on third down, 67% on fourth down, averaging 17 points a game. Going to take a quick break here for the national anthem. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Cock Radio Network.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay. What was wrong?
He pounded on the buttons and the sliders and like split them up and down a million times. Stuff like that.
Okay. Okay, Mandana, you can send it back.
Okay, I couldn't hear anything.
Huh? I didn't have my crowd mic on.
Okay.
Now you can hear it, can't you? The wind. Nothing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll finish up with the Fort Scott Greyhound offense. You got Snead will be the quarterback. Abrams and Randall will be in the backfield with him. Wideouts are going to be Aldred, Harrison, along with Daughtry and Jenkins. Now for the Conch defense up front, you got Pennerton, Williams, Meyer, and Brazen. And then your backers are going to be Wright, Henry, and Lockhart. Henry leading the team in tackles. Then your cornerbacks are going to be Cremiti and Simonot. Safeties, Dakota Anderson will get the start today, and Galden will be with him. Conch's giving up 384 yards total offense. They're giving up 187 on the ground, 197 through the air. They got 17 quarterback sacks. They got 5 passes that they've intercepted, and they got 1 defensive touchdown. They're giving up 27 points a game. Now the Conch offense, you got Caden Walters will be back at quarterback. McMullen and Walker will be in the backfield with him. Wide receiver is going to be Mills, Haley, Watkins, and Hanks. Up front, you got Whitehead, the center. Then you got Foster and Brooks will be your guards. Sylvester and Washington will be your tackles. Conch's 347 yards total offense, 177 on the ground, 170 through the air. They've given up 10 quarterback sacks as well, completing just 53% of the passes. Conchs have thrown 6 picks on the season. They've had 7 fumbles, lost 5 of them. Red zone, though, they are 67% on the season, 41% on third down, 45% on fourth down, and they're averaging 27 points a game. Now for the Greyhound defense, you got Bailey, McCauley, Mitchell, and King up front. You got King, Chazoskas, and Neal are your backers. Francis and Hempstead are your cornerbacks, and Peterson and Espy are your safeties. They're giving up, the Fort Scott defense giving up 356 total yards, 189 on the ground, 167 through the air, 20 quarterback sacks on the season, and they got just 1 pass intercepted there, giving up 34 points a game. And that's a look at your starting lineups brought to you by Winter Live. When we come back, we'll get Cole's keys to the victory today, right here on the Lewis Ford pregame show. You're listening to the Conch Radio Network.
Okay, 2.
Just give us a minute here.
By the way, I thought it was the keys to the first half, and at halftime I did the second
I forgot.
half.
Okay, there we go.
Come on, man.
I got it. We'll get it. Hey, dude, it's only what, our 4th game working together? That's what I said. It's just air, man. Nobody's sitting at home going, well, what about the second half? Cole's keys to victory. Mommy, what happened to those? We got the giggle hound over there. He's all wound up.
Well, yeah, he drank all of his Coke and
I
ate
know.
nachos, man.
He's all wound up now.
You got to be mentally prepared when you're about to go down there, and it's going to be colder than crap.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Lewis Ford pregame show. Lewis Ford, stop by and see him at 200 Military. Let him put you in a ride you can drive with pride. Give Brad or Colby a call today at 227-3673. That's Lewis Ford, yours truly's very own car dealer. And now it's time for Cole's keys to victory.
No crowd too big, no hunger too great. Jimmy John's. And the keys to victory, at least in this first half, I'm going to point out to say, get them linemen up to the secondary. You got to get these get blocks on these linebackers coming in from Fort Scott. The 2 linebackers make up for 18.3 tackles per game and 13.4 tackles per game. It's very obvious their defense is basically revolved around these 2 linebackers. You get a big body up to them, I think that your Dodgers going to have no issue running the ball at all. I think defense is going to play like they normally do in the first half.
All right, and wind going to be an issue when we go down. We'll check Mr. Cameron Burney and get the conditions on the field, and probably going to be a different story from the time we kick it off till the time we close this game out. Conks looking to stop the 3-game slide. When we come back, we'll have your kickoff for you. You're listening to Conk Football on 1550 AM, the Sports Sound, and on the web at conksports.com. It is all part of the Conk Radio Network. I go 2 here. 2? Yeah. Probably could have went 2 on the last one, but Cole's getting a little antsy up here in the booth.
I'm getting antsy. What?
What is that? That game's over with. Why that showed up? Just showed up that Iowa Western Garden City. There we go. Ooh, Hutch 25-13 final over Ellsworth. Ellsworth not bad. I'm really surprised. We handled them. Two.
Dude, you cannot see those numbers at all.
No.
Even with the sun, there's a little bit of a glare, and you can't really tell the number.
Oh, yeah, dude, you're going to like the Coffeyville press box.
Dude.
We're up so high.
You're telling me I can just step
the bathroom
to the side?
the bathroom's, like, here's the wall, bathroom's right there. Like, right there.
That'd be amazing. Like, I don't have to think about, like, oh, I don't know if I got enough time.
Oh, yeah, no. When's our boy get down there? There he is. Hey, Cameron, can you hear me? Let's see if your mic works.
You guys got me?
Oh, yeah, we got you, man. Okay, we're good.
Force got deferred dodges to receive.
Okay.
I believe going against the wind. Probably an obvious.
So Dodge going against the wind?
Yep, totally.
Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about 2 minutes away from kickoff. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors today. Lewis Ford, Kelly Hendricks, DDS, Winter Livestock, Jimmy John's, Jason Putnam, Shelter Insurance, B&E Waste Systems, Joy Chiropractic, Dodge City Dental Care, Diamond Roofing. And remember, folks, try to go out and do business with the people that do business with us. Keeping it right here in your hometown of Dodge City. Conk's getting ready to take the field. Let's go down to our crack sideline reporter, Mr. Cameron Burney down there. Going to brave the elements tonight. Cameron, what's the weather conditions down like on the field, buddy?
Yeah, weather right now, 74 with a 28-mile-an-hour wind out of the north, gusting to 39. But, yeah, like you said, the different story at the end of this one. 9 o'clock, it's supposed to get down to 52 with a 28-mile-an-hour wind. So, going to drop off a little bit by the time this one's over.
All right, Cameron. That's why you make the big bucks down there on the sideline, man, braving the elements. So, Fort Scott won the toss. They deferred to Conks. Will receive. They'll be heading into that north wind that you just heard Cameron say was 25, gusting up to 38 miles per hour. Conks going to be in a gray uniform, purple numbers, white trim. Fort Scott coming out in their all-white uniforms, all white numbers, it looks like to me. Can't really see anything. So we are set to go. Next action for the Conks, it's going to be the Highway 50 rivalry. We'll be traveling over to Garden City. Buster's losing today to Iowa Western at home, 41-14. So the defending national champs with 3 losses so far on the season. So getting set to boot it away for the Greyhounds. I think it's going to be Brody Southwell. Back deep for the Conks, Murphy. For the Conks, and this is an area that Thomas thought that they'll be able to exploit here today is going to be special teams. So Southwell ready to boot it, and we are set to go.
We're going to have to see if this ball doesn't just go flying through the back of the end zone for them to exploit.
And it's going to bounce off the crossbar, and the Conks will get it first down and 25. Damon Post, Cole Trent, Cameron Burney, and the lovely Miss Amanda Miller back at the station producing the broadcast for us. Sorry that we went on a little late. Little technical difficulty at the station, but you out on the web on YouTube got to hear the full interview with Coach Thomas. And we are set to go. Walters will lead the attack. Walker will be in the backfield with him. Then you got Hanks, Mills, Haley, and Watkins will be your wideouts. Whitehead, Brooks, Foster, Sylvester, and Washington are going to be your men up front. And we are set to go. Conks are going to start with a bunch formation. They're going to split Haley and Mills out wide. McMullen going to go out to the wide along with the backup lineman. Walters dropping back, flips it to Mills. Mills makes the catch. It's going to be a short gain. And that's going to bring up second down and 10. Trying to go for a little trickeration right off the bat.
Well, they tricked me right off the jump. I thought McMullen was getting a screen pass out with that backup offensive lineman out there. But
the Montreal Garrett, his first start of the season. So no gain on the play. Walker be in the backfield. Now they go 4 wide, balance set. Walters will go on a hard count now. Step up to the line. Change the play. Just underway, play action. They get it out to Watkins. Watkins with a stiff arm will get out near the 30. Let's see where they mark him out. Going to mark him out at the 29, so pick up a 4, and that's going to bring up second down and 6.
Third down and 6.
Third down and 6. Thank you. See, I missed you, man. You don't even know how many. You don't even know how many times I messed up last week without you here, man. Going to go on the road, though, next week. Final 2 road games. Walters now, hard count, back it off, Haley. And Minner will split out wide right. Watkins and Mills here to the inside. Walters looks over the middle. Catch is going to be made by Haley, and he'll have the first down.
And that was a really close catch. It looked like Haley just about lost it right there before he started taking off and running a little bit.
And that's what I talked to Thomas about. I said, you know, going into the wind, now ball's going to be like a knuckleball, and then when you got the wind at your back, that ball gets on you a lot faster because it's going to be coming in quicker with that wind. So Conks convert, and they'll have the ball at the 41-yard line. 4 wide, hand off to Walker. Walker gets through the line, finds a hole, breaks it out to the left, and going to be near another first down, going to pick up 9. And A.J. Walker, averaging 4.2 yards per carry on the season, picks up 9 there. And that time, as A.J. just 5'10", 220, got that low center of gravity. So the Conks will get set. Walters in the shotgun. Hand off to Walker. Walker straight ahead, gets up to the 45 of the Greyhounds. And the Conks into Fort Scott territory. Pick up a 7. It's going to be a first down Conks. Checking out will be Sacamano. Checking in will be Haley. Liniger in at tight end here on the left side. Thomas wants to change the play up from the side. Fort Scott with 5 guys at the line of scrimmage. Here's a handoff to Minor, who just checked in, and he gets hit. Maybe loses a half a yard there. That's going to bring up second down and long. So Watkins will check in. Liniger will check out. Haley and Minner will split wide right. Mills and Watkins here to the near side. Thomas sends the play in, 13 on the play clock. Second down, we'll call it 11. They're going to roll Caden out to his right. Now throw back across the middle. It's going to be picked off by the middle linebacker. bringing it out to the 40, has a host of blockers in front of him and takes it down to the 30, and that time that was Chazoskas. And that's going to be his first interception of the season, and he's the one with 18 tackles a game.
Yeah, I think Dodge right there, I think they're getting a little bit confident. They had thrown a couple good balls into the wind there. I was actually kind of impressed at how well they were moving the ball, throwing it over the top into the wind. I think that one right there, they moved the ball, pocket to the right, Kane stopped, tried to throw to the left, and just threw it kind of a little bit off. I think the wind probably was the one that caught it on that one.
So the Fort Scott Greyhounds now, we'll see if they can convert the turnover. So it'll be Sneed with Abrams in the backfield with him. Now they'll flip it out, looking for the screen pass, get it out to Abrams, and Lakia Henry going to come over and going to knock him down for about a 2-yard loss. And that time, Henry showing the wheels.
I think Henry just about shows the wheels every game that we've watched him play in.
So now we got a second down, and we'll call it 12. Sneed all alone in the backfield, looking out to the right, and the pass going to be off the mark. Intended for Darius Abrams, a running back who had lined up in the slot. Now it's third down and 12. So now we'll go trips here to the near side. Actually, they're going to split out 4. They're going to box him here on the far side. Now they'll spread him out. Maybe a wide receiver screen. Sneed going to be alone in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. They're going to roll him out, and the Conks are going to get on him right away and sack him. Clear back to the 43-yard line. And coming in there for the Conks was Nick Simmons, along with Pinnerton.
You know, Damon, there I kind of like what Coach Thomas called out right there. He saw that there was 4 receivers to this front side to us, to the right side. So he sent blitz that outside linebacker, said, you're probably not going to need to be able to get over here and catch anything. Might as well send him on a blitz. And, him and the defensive end for Dodge City just completely destroyed that play.
Yeah, that play, no chance from the get-go. Morton will stand back on his own 10-yard line. Here's a high snap. Conks get close to getting in there. Good punt. Morton will call for the fair catch and let it go through the end zone. Good job of decoying there as Fort Scott had gathered around him.
Yeah, he fooled me. I thought he was going to be fair catching it there too.
So the Conks will start first and 10 at their own 20. So the turnover does not result in any points for the Greyhounds. And the Conks will start first and 10. So a good job defensively there for the Conk defense, coming up big. And it looks like the Greyhounds are waiting to see who the Conks send out offensively before they send him out on the far side. Now he opens up the gate and lets him go. Herding cattle, man.
Well, you got to remember, Dodge has so many different formations. They have so many tools. It's for defenses like this that are a little bit more set on who they have out there.
They'll flank Miner out into the flat. Miner going to pick up a block from Watkins at the 20. Miner will take it up ahead to the 25, and I thought right there that Tyler might turn that into a big one as Austin got that seal block right there with him on the screen pass.
Yeah, Austin had him locked up really well, actually. Was actually driving him backwards. I wouldn't have been surprised if that play continued, if he would have got himself a pancake.
So the Conks will have second down. We'll call it 6. Murphy now into the ball game at tailback. Now Thomas will change the play. Got 10 on the play clock. Caden drops back, looking over to his left, throws it out in the flat. Mills probably would have had a first down, but he got tripped up, and let's see. It's Caleb maybe comes up pointing to that leg. If maybe he doesn't have something that maybe tweaked on him there. There's a trainer down checking him out. They'll get back, third down and 6. No score here in the early going, 9:38. Left in the first quarter. Conks will go 4 wide receivers. They'll drop back. Murphy fades up. Walter's going to have to step up in the pocket. Now throw it out there, and Watkins couldn't hang on to it, and oh, Caden put it on his fingertips, and Austin was headed downfield, I think, before he got it in there, and that could have been big. So coming out for the Conks will be Chad Stevens, averaging 37 yards a punt.
But this of course is going into the wind here, so.
Going into that wind, back deep will be Hempstead standing on his own 40-yard line. Good snap. Stevens gets it off and gets this one to turn over. Beautiful punt into that wind up to the 43-yard line. So that's going to be 33-yard punt into the wind. That is not bad.
I'll eat my word. That was actually a really, really good kick into the wind right there. I really can't complain too much if you're Dodge City on that one.
And you saw what happens when them punters get the ball to turn over where it looks like a pass there. It cuts into that wind and stayed, didn't let it get caught up. So now we got Tripp split wide right for the Greyhounds. They got the ball at the 44-yard line, hand off to the tailback, Abrams trying to get to the outside, loses his helmet. Ooh. And here comes a flag in late.
I'm actually kind of interested in seeing who threw it. I don't know.
Flag made by Henry, or tackle made by Henry. Face mask against Henry. So now we know why Darius's helmet came flying off. That'll be a 15-yarder. That's going to put the ball all the way up to the Conquistador 36-yard line. So Tripp split wide right. Now here comes the blitz by the Conks, and here's a pass.
Ooh, I wonder if that's...
Let's see, are they going to say he was down?
I believe they are.
I think they are. I think they're going to say that he was sacked clear back at the 45-yard line. So that's going to be a loss of 8.
All things considered, I think if they would have counted the pass, that's about definition of intentional grounding there.
And the quarterback is Garrett Sharp, actually, number 3. Thought it was 2, but it is 3, so it's a backup quarterback getting a nod. Now we got Trips here to the near side. They'll bring a man in motion. Lockhart's going to follow him around. Now they flip it off. They get the screen pass. Henry giving chase. Tackle, though, is going to be made up near the 42 by Dakota Anderson. Or, the 36. So that's going to be a gain of 8. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. So Anderson getting the start at safety for the injured Kobe Perry. So I look over there. Hank's not starting today's game. Here's Sharp dropping back, feels the pressure. Now he's going to lose the ball. It's going to be loose on the turf, and the Conks will fall on it. Miles Meyer. I thought the big fella was going to try to scoop it and score.
I was hoping he would scoop it and score.
So, second turnover of the ball game, first one against the Greyhounds. And the Conks will start 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. And I like the penetration, the defensive, the front four's getting up here.
The front four are doing an amazing job at this point. If they're cutting the blocks off, they're really making running it up the middle a little bit difficult, and they're actually putting a really, really good pass rush along with one of the middle linebackers just about every play.
So Walters now will go with 2 wide receivers. Murphy in the backfield, McMullen in at fullback. They hand off to Murphy. Murphy sees the hole, scoots through there, out across the 45. Murphy to the 50, splits the defenders and all the way up to the 34 of the Greyhounds.
And we got to give a little bit of props to Mike McMullen there. He went up, saw the gap that Murphy ran, followed him through, and cut off any other blocks. He was getting guaranteed 10 yards on that run.
Gain of 25 for Murphy on the play. And the Conks in the Greyhound territory once again. They'll stay with this formation, go with 2 wide receivers. Sacamano in at tight end, McMullen at fullback. A hand off to Murphy. Murphy scoots through the line, breaks one tackle, and then falls ahead and going to pick up about 3, and that'll bring up second down and 7. We'll go down to Cameron, and Cameron, Coach Callahan talking to his defense there, has to be pleased here in the early going.
Yeah, he's actually really happy with them. The one coaches, they always have something that they want to talk about. On that screen, doesn't want his DNs to over pursue.
Okay. Got it. Here we go. Second down and 7 for the Conquistadors. Balls at the Greyhound 31-yard line. Conk's going to change the play up. 7 on the play clock. They get it off, get it to Murphy. Murphy has a hole up the middle, but gets tripped up right near the first down. And, somebody got a hold of a shoestring there, Cole, or he was gone to the corner.
Yeah, I almost want to say he almost tripped over himself. I really don't know who's ended up getting a hand on it. But
so McMullen and Sacamano will check out. Linegar will check in. Haley back in as well. Him and Watkins here to the wide side. Minner split wide right. Walters in the shotgun. Are they going to call it 3rd down and 1? He didn't get the first down. Murphy will fall ahead and pick up the first down, and that'll stop the clock with 6:08 to go. No score here in the early going. Try to give you some updates around college football. So the Conks marching here. A.J. Walker now back in at tailback. Conks will go with 4 wide receivers. Ritchie line up in the slot. They give it to Walker. Walker goes to the right and picks up about 5. That's going to bring up second down and 5. So the Conks doing a nice job of mixing up run and pass here.
Especially passing it into the wind. Like they've had that one interception, but other than the one interception, the passing games looked extremely strong, actually.
Update from the Red River Shootout, 29-24. Texas with the ball, 1st and 10, 19 seconds to go. So now they'll run the option, pitch it out to Walker. Walker trying to get the corner, stops at the 20, spins away. Still on his feet and going to be knocked down. Let's see, they're going to mark his forward progress at the 19. So just a gain of 1 on that one. So now 3rd down, definitely 4-down territory here, Cole. Conks will go with Minner and Haley split wide right. Checking in is going to be A.J. Morton. He'll move over to the right side with Minner. Haley will come over here, him and Watkins to the left side. Walker in the backfield. Showing blitz. Play action pass, flip it over, has Haley, touchdown, Conquistador. 19-yard pass play from Caden Walters to Mr. Braxton Haley, and the Conks strike first.
We got to give Caden some props on that. He saw that those, oh my, I can't even talk. He saw that the Greyhounds were all loaded up and all inside the box, ready to hit a super blitz. At Caden knew exactly where his receiver was going to go, just dumped it over the top, said I'm going to leave it to the receiver to get it.
So now Guillory on for the extra point, which should be somewhat interesting into that win. And the Conks move on the front line. It'll be a false start. That's going to back them up 5, make it a little tougher. So the Conks, after turning it over, defense comes up big, gives the ball back to them. And they march right down the field 80 yards for the score. Good snap, hold down, kick up. And it is good. So with 4:26 to go, the Conks up 7-0. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. Yeah. Ooh, come on. Game's got to be over. Amanda.
Uh-huh.
Ask Cole if he got any pizza today.
Did you get any pizza today, Cole?
Nah, sadly. I'm kind of upset about it. I don't want to talk about it right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Conk set to boot it away into this wind. They're going to squib it across the ground, and the Greyhounds are going to fall on it at the 34-yard line. So not a bad kick into that wind.
Nope, I think, honestly, that's probably
34-yard line, I kind of like it.
I was going to say, that's probably the best thing you could honestly do. You could kick it up and give them a chance to gain a couple yards, or just squib kick it, make them just want to jump on it.
Or just kick it right out of bounds. You put it at the 35. So the Greyhounds will come out. Trying to see, I think it's Garrett Sharp. Yep, they'll go with 4 wide receivers. Sharp hands off to Abrams, has a hole there, but sees it close rather quickly. Gain of 2, second down and 8. Lakia Henry with the tackle. So here's Sharp dropping back, looking to throw. Has a wide receiver at the 40. That is Aldred. Makes the catch. And the Greyhounds in the conquistador territory. So now the Greyhounds in a hurry-up offense. They hand off to Abrams. Abrams gets hit at the line of scrimmage and then spins forward and picks up about 4, second down and 6. So a good pickup on first down there. And that's what we talked is they were going to try to hit the up-tempo. Here's Sharp back, looking. Pass going to be over the intended receiver. That was number 10, Harrison. So third down and 6 now. So Guerrier out here split wide at cornerback. For Kermiti. Third down and 6. Now there's a quarterback keeper. That is Sharp trying to pick it up. He does, but then he jumps back, and let's see where they mark his forward progress. They're going to get him just past the first down. And that's going to move the chains. That's one thing when you play man on the outside. You know, everybody, when you're lined up man, not playing zone, that quarterback's free to run.
Well, technically, you should have a middle linebacker that's on him, but if you're blitzing him, that's a little bit different of a story.
There's Sharp now looking out in the end zone, and the pass incomplete, or not to the end zone. Well, he kind of was. Aldred, the intended receiver, he was double coveraged over there. That was Galden and Dana Lockhart. Now second down and 10. Greyhounds going with the hurry up. Abrams in the backfield. Sharp will change the play. Conk's 4-man front. They hand off to Abrams. Big hole up the middle, and he busts through. Touchdown of Greyhounds. And that time, Conk's got caught sleeping. So now they're an extra point away at tying it up.
And we kind of talked about this before the game. We talked about how the defensive line normally does a really good job of defending against the run until there's that one play where they give up. And right there, it looked like the middle linebacker actually stepped down to help blitz. And right as he stepped down, the gap developed and exactly where they went through.
And here's the extra point. Goes through, knuckleball, and it's good. So we're tied at 7 with 2:59 to go. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. Yeah.
God, how do we have a defense that just goes with lights out and then just sleep the very next series?
Dude, that's what they've been trying to figure out all season long.
Like, I don't even know what to say about it. I was like, what? They're not doing anything differently.
Thomas just hollered, not happy. Figure it out.
Oh, really?
Exactly what you guys just said.
Oklahoma wins it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, 29-24.
Didn't they have the ball in with 19 seconds? Texas did.
Yeah.
That must have been. That's going to be a good one to see later on.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Greyhounds set to kick it away. Murphy standing back deep in his own end zone. I think Rodney's wanting to return one here.
He's looking to return one right now.
So, set to kick off. It's going to be Southwell. Last one banged off the crossbar. This one here is going to be deep as well and go through and hit the soccer goal in the end zone, and the Conks will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. As we'll check down with Cameron Burney, Coach Callahan talking to his defense over there. And Cameron, what's Coach Cal saying to his defense?
He's not a complete opposite of the last drive. He's not happy with them at all. He's wanting them to, when they were running the no huddle, he wasn't happy at how they were just jogging down the field. He wants them to get down there and get set up and be able to look over at him if he wants to change anything.
All righty. Cameron Burney, the eye candy. On the sidelines, Minor in the backfield. Conks going to bring the tight end Sacamano. They'll go trip split. 2 to the top. Play action pass. They're going to roll Caden out, looking downfield. Going to throw it, almost intercepted. Coming up there was Hempstead. And, he's going to be kicking himself for that one. And I don't know if Caden thought the receiver was going to break the route off there, but the receiver had went downfield.
Yeah, it was definitely a miscommunication. I'll tell you what, the play action fooled me. I thought they handed that ball off until after Caden turned around and you said something about it.
So Walters now will get set. Minor in the backfield. Conks will stay in his formation. 3 wide, 2 to the near side. Hand off to Minor. Minor sees a hole and scoots ahead for a couple. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and long. And I asked Thomas, I said, when do you decide where at on the field do you decide to go that it's 4 down territory at this wind, as you're going in? Because when your punting's going to be like 15 yards, he goes, I don't know, we'll have to play it by ear. So probably going to depend on how well they're moving the ball as well. So a big 3rd down here for the Conks, tied up at 7. 2:29 to go in the first. They'll go 4 wide receivers. Watkins and Mills split wide left. Haley and Morton split wide right. Thomas will change the play. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Caden gets set. Here's the snap. Drops back. 3-man rush. Caden's going to get grabbed and going to get sacked, and we got a face mask, I think.
I think face mask or horse collar. I saw a hand go on his horse collar there for a second, so I think the Conks are going to get a lucky one on this part and get a free 1st down.
So a flag in the backfield with 1:58 to go. And it's against the Greyhound, the Conk offensive line. Kalik Washington. That's going to go against McCauley. So I think that was a designed run, but then Caden kind of looked out like he wanted to throw it for a minute.
Yeah, it was kind of a different play. I almost want to say it was maybe a broken play is what it looked like to me at least. But
so Haley and Morton split wide right. Watkins and Mills here to the near side. Minor in the backfield with Walters. Caden will hand off to Tyler. Tyler getting to the outside, has it at the 45, up to the 50, and gets ran out of bounds at the Greyhound 44-yard line. And, I like the way he runs.
it's honestly really crazy to watch how fast he is compared to everyone else on the field. He was gaining steps on every single person that was chasing after him. If it weren't for the fact that he had to run into a couple defenders, I think he goes house almost every play.
So first down and 10 for the Conks into Greyhound territory. Play action pass, they get it out to Watkins. Nice little move, and then the ball comes out, and it's loose on the turf. And let's see who has it. As the officials right there. And are they going to say it's Greyhound Thomas coming over? And the officials talking, still no signal from the referees. Fort Scott players over saying they got it. And the officials now say they do. Second turnover of the ball game for the Conks.
Yeah, I think there Watkins had caught it and kept the ball right in the middle of himself. He hadn't tucked it yet. And then as soon as he turned and started running and he went to tuck it, I think the defender came down and basically just punched the ball straight out of his hands and took him down, and there's no one there for Dodge to try to recover it.
So now the Conks cough up the ball for the second time today. First time they did not give up any points. We'll see if the defense can rise up. Defense just gave up a touchdown run. So Sharp at quarterback. Abrams in the backfield with him. They're going to go 4 wide receivers. Here comes the blitz. Throw downfield, has a receiver, and the pass is going to be incomplete as Anderson with the coverage tried to hit Harrison. And Dakota was beat on the play, but Sharp underthrew it.
Yeah, I wonder if Sharp was trying to throw it a little bit less just to try to avoid it going, catching the wind and going a little bit too far, and kind of did the counter opposite of what he was trying to do. But
so now they flip it out, catch up receiver, slot receiver, I should say. And with the tackle, Kobe Perry. So Kobe into the ball game, wasn't on the two deeps. May have got released from the concussion protocol. Third down, we'll call it 7. 4-man rush. Here's a pass play, and it's going to be incomplete here near side.
I think that's another one of them times where he's throwing it into the wind and he's not sure of how much he's got to put on it.
Yep. That was Harrison again, the intended receiver. I thought it was number 18 when he turned, and he's right here in front of our bench, and I couldn't make out who it was. So Morton will go back deep. Morton averaging 7.6 yards per punt return, and last week muffed one and pretty upset with himself, and Coach Thomas gets him and kind of gets him corrals there. Conks look like they're coming for it, and here they come. And they get the punt off. It's going to be a short one, and it's going to go out of bounds somewhere up near 35. They're going to mark, 35-yard line. So the Conks will start in good field position. So not the best punt in the world.
Especially when you get the wind to your back. And honestly, I think he probably could, if he puts a little bit on it, could just get it through the back of the end zone if he really tried to. But
honestly, I think if you would have, like when you first learned to kick, you just held it sideways and punted it. Probably could have
probably
just got
catching
it
the
in
wind
there.
and just going.
So the Conks will come back out. Minor will be in the backfield. You got Ritchie and Mills split along with Haley split wide left. Up top is Minner. Walters looks over the 3-man front. And they only got 10 guys on the field. Here comes the 11th guy. I thought they were short one. Minor gets the handoff, gets up about 4 yards, still on his feet. Greyhound's trying to strip it. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. And that's what I was wondering. I was sitting there going, they look a man short because I saw 3 down linemen and I only saw 3 linebackers, so I knew something went awry. So the Conks pick up 4, and they'll stay with Tripp split wide left. Walters on the hard snap. Now we'll check with Thomas, and they'll change the play up with 12 on the play clock. Tied up at 7 seconds to go. Hand off to Minor. Minor scoots ahead and going to pick up about another 4, and it's going to be 3rd down. We'll call it 2, and that's the end of the first quarter. We're tied at 7. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network.
They are stripping the ball right now.
Oh, yeah.
A minute.
Yeah. Where's my water?
Can be a little bit mean to Noah right now.
Huh?
Noah Williams, he was texting me about Fort Hayes, trying to make it a big deal because it's the second time Fort Hayes has been ever 7-0. I said back, at least, as I asked him, when have you actually touched the field when it was competitive?
Man, you're harsh.
He's talking crap on Fort Hayes, man. He knows what's going to happen.
Welcome back. Conks now with the wind at their back. We're tied at 7. And I noticed our sideline guy, Cameron Burney, down there trying to keep loose there, stretching the old legs. Is the temperature dropping a little?
No, not really. Not yet.
We don't want you pulling a muscle down there, Cameron. So just
start doing some sprints to stay warm.
There you go. All right, back to action. 3rd down and 2 for the Conquistadors. They got to get to the 45-yard line. Miner in the backfield. 4-man front for the Greyhounds. Thomas will change the play. Miner scoots up. Walters gets set. Play action pass, going to roll him out. Looking, now they're going to throw it. Catch is made by McMullen. He's going to be close to the first down. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, they're going to mark him a yard short. So a pickup of 1 there. And it looks like Thomas is going to go for it. Take a look. We'll go to Cole here with some Jimmy John's first quarter stats. As it looks like the Conks going to bring in Sacamano. They're going to go for it here. 4th down and 1. Miner in the backfield. Walters goes on the hard count. Thomas change the play. Caden gets set. Here we go. Big 4th down here. Play action. They give it off to Miner. He's got the first down and more. And Tyler takes it up to midfield. Pick up a 6 on the carry.
I'll tell you what, it's just Dodge's running backs, we have 3 valid running backs. Like
yeah.
We could give to any of the 3 running backs, and they are one of the most dangerous weapons we have on the field every single time.
So 1st down and 10 for the Conquistadors. McMullen will stay in at fullback. They'll go with the tight end, 2 wide. Pros set for the Conks. Thomas calls the play from the sidelines. Greyhound shuffling around. 8 guys in the box. They'll slide McMullen across. Now they give it to Miner. Tries to cut it back. No doing. Going to pick up a yard maybe, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. Now Miner's going to check out. Anthony Watkins will check in at tailback. Also checking in is going to be Richie along with Haley. So the Conks are going to drop the 4 wide receivers. Minner will be the lone receiver here to the near side. Mills split wide left. Haley in the slot. Watkins in the backfield. They'll check with Thomas. Thomas changes the play. 7 on the play clock. Tied at 7 here in the 2nd quarter. They give it to Watkins. Cuts it back. Anthony will spin and pick up about 7. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. And that was a nice little move.
Yeah, he legit just spun for about 4 or 5 yard gain before he finally hit the ground.
So 3rd down and 3 here. Sacamano is going to check into the ball game. Richie will check out. Walters comes up to the line and calls the play. Watkins in at tailback. 3rd and 3. Caden in the shotgun. Hands off to Watkins. Watkins gets tripped up in the backfield and slammed down right away. And now we got a late flag coming in, and Minner says it's going to be against the Greyhounds. Now let's see what we got.
And that might have been a blessing in disguise. The defensive end for the Greyhounds on the right side actually jumped extremely hard off the line and came all the way through and made a really good tackle, actually. So
it's going to be a personal foul against Eskin Francis against Minner. And Francis pleading his case now is going to have to come off. So the Conks pick up a first down the cheap way, but we'll take it.
This is the second time I believe Dodge has kind of gotten a little bit of lucky streak, but.
So Mills and Haley split wide left. Ritchie and Minner here to the near side. Watkins in at tailback. 12:19 to go. We're tied at 7 in the second quarter.
But gotta snap the ball.
Caden gets it off, looking over the middle. Now throws it, has Watkins all alone out of the backfield for the 29-yard touchdown strike. And the Conks back up 13-7, pinning the extra point.
Wasn't Watkins, was it? That was
24. Watkins, Anthony Watkins.
Oh, different Watkins.
Yeah,
okay.
Not Austin Anthony. So right there, and I tell you what, you won't see it in the score box,
Whoa.
but and now
bold move.
Extra point attempt. Conks
went for two.
Went for two there. And it is no good, but that offensive line gave Caden a lot of time to get that pass off. We'll take a quick break, come back. Conks will be kicking off. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network.
30?
Yeah. Boy, I wish I would have saw that. Did they direct snap it right to him?
I have no idea.
Was you not
There was a handoff? I was gonna say, apparently they handed the ball off. I have no
Pay
no
attention.
idea.
If you're going to be color guy, you got to pay attention.
Okay, I didn't anticipate that. We're with the wind, man. I can't anticipate that kind of movement.
4, 3, 2.
Handoff.
Welcome back. Conks set to kick it off. And I think it's kick returner is going to be Hempstead. Yes, it is. He'll stand on his own goal line. Guillory, he has his first carry of the season, will get set to boot it away. 12:05 to go here in the second. And it's going to be a squibber. Conks waiting for it to go 10. And it just dies at the 37-yard line.
So,
or 44-yard line, excuse me.
Some tricky plays going on right now.
And so the Greyhounds are going to start, and I don't see, and Thomas. So not the two best plays for the Conquistadors right off the bat, or for Guillory. Back-to-back plays, Guillory probably not going to get the special teams player of the week in the Jayhawk Conference.
Well, no, but you also got to remember, those aren't exactly – he's not like he's calling them plays out. Those are some planned-out plays.
So 3 wide receivers here for the Greyhound. Sharp will hand off to Abrams, trying to get to the outside. Anderson coming up from his safety position will knock him down at about the 48, so that's going to be a loss of almost 4 yards.
And, you know, maybe this is what Dodge was seeing whenever they said that they think they could challenge him on special teams. When they're going against the wind, passing the ball is going to be pretty tough, as we've seen a little bit of. So maybe he just believes that when they're going against the wind, they could do whatever they feel.
Second down and 14, a handoff. Abrams trying to get to the outside. Picks up about 3. Tackle in there by Pennerton. So the Conks strung that one out pretty good. Morris in on the tackle. For the Conks. So third down, we'll call it 12. Play action pass, they're going to roll Sharp out, going to try to flip it over to the fullback. That is Randall, the intended receiver, and he was going nowhere, so the Conks force a 3 and out.
I think this is what Thomas said whenever he told you he was going to be focused on the special teams. Like, first series against the Wind, they did virtually, I mean, they lost yardage that entire time. It's the reason why Thomas is the head coach. He sees things that people like me and you don't see.
So now, Southwell will punt it away into that wind. Back deep for the Conks is going to be Morton, and he gets it away. And it's going to bounce at the 30 and roll out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So that's going to be an 11-yard punt or 13-yard punt into the wind. So you look at Stevens, a 33-yarder into the wind, this one 11. So the Conk offense, who's up 13-7, will have the ball once again with 10:54 to go before halftime. Coming up at halftime is that award-winning, always entertaining B&E Waste Systems halftime show. We moved it from report to show because it's entertainment.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Walker in the backfield with Caden now. Conks 4 wide receivers. Thomas will call it from the sidelines. Caden with the snap, looking downfield, flips it out, gets it to Watkins at the 40. Anthony has the ball hanging out, and he's going to lose it for the second time today. Fort Scott recovers at the 36.
And there Watkins had the ball, knew he was going to get tackled, and tried to reach the ball out, but in the process of reaching, a Greyhound came and basically put his helmet into it and caused another fumble for the Anthony Watkins for today.
So the Conks with their third turnover here in the first half. And the Greyhounds will try to convert here. They'll go with 3 wide receivers. Randall in at fullback, play action pass. Looking over the middle, throws it up, and the pass is going to be incomplete. Way over the intended receiver's head, Carter. Or excuse me, that was Aldred. Second down and 10. So Abrams will stay in the backfield. They'll stay. Now they're going to flank him out, shoot him out to the right. Sharp's going to try to run it himself, and he's going nowhere as Rodshot Williams shuts him down. Pick up a 1, third down and 9. So third down and 9. So Crum in the alone back in the backfield. Sharp looking over the middle, going to try to run it. He's going to get hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a loss of 1.
He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Rodshot Williams in there along with Nick Simmons. And it's going to be 4th down. So the Greyhounds will have to punt it away once again. So Morton will stand back on about his own 16-yard line, and you hate this with with this wind like this. You're trying to block, you go down, you don't know where that ball's at. Here come the Conks, and this is going to be a knuckleball. And that's going to bounce and roll down to about the 9-yard line, and that's where it'll be down. Because if you're on the return team, you don't know where it's going to bounce. And with the wind like this, it could bounce and hit you, and the next thing you know, another turnover.
Yeah, one of those things where the ball catches the air, stalls in the air a little bit, comes down and bounces off your helmet.
So the Conks will have to go 91 yards with 9:20 to go before half here. They go down. Cameron, did anybody say anything to Anthony down there with about hanging the football out?
No, they didn't. Nobody really said anything to him. Coach Thomas said about 3 words to him when he came off the field, and he walked over and set his helmet down and just sat there and thought.
All righty. Thank you there, Mr. Burney. Hawks with Walker in the backfield. Play action. Caden's going to keep it. Tries to get to the outside and spins ahead and picks up maybe 2 there. And Kalik Washington coming up limping. Caden lost his helmet, so Duke McGraw's going to have to come in.
No, part of me really likes when Duke McGraw comes in. This is the running quarterback right here.
McMullen will check in along with Lineker. So Walker in at tailback. Minner split out wide right. Haley split wide left. Conks pro formation. Hand off, give it to Walker. Walker sees the hole, picks up a couple, and there's going to be a face mask right there. As looks like AJ picked up about 7, got hit about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and then plowed ahead. And so Duke McGraw will come out. Caden Walters will come in.
And penalty flags kind of going in Dodge's way today.
Turnovers aren't, though.
I guess we're going to have to see which one wins the game.
That's which one wins the game, and that's going to push. So the Conks would have had it at about the 24, and now they're going to have it all the way up to the 34-yard line. So Minor in the backfield, McMullen in with him, Conks with 3 wide. Haley and Minner split wide right. Play action, they're going to roll Caden out. Caden looking back across, has Minor all by himself. One-handed catch. Tyler Minor going to take it down. Touchdown, Conquistadors. And Caden put it out there, and Tyler reached out with one hand and pulled it back in, and wow, what a play. And that is a 66-yard bomb.
I'm almost speechless.
And as Tyler was going down, was kind of just loping along the sidelines, and then when he saw Caden put it up there and the wind started catching it, he had to get on his horses and reached out one-handed and tipped it back, and he got it. Now it looks like the Conks are going to go for 2 here. They lead it 19-7. Going to put a man in motion. That's Haley. They pitch around, flip over. Caden nowhere to go. Tries to take it ahead and reach over. 2-point conversion, no good. And Thomas
not happy.
Is not happy. As we head to a timeout, 19-7. Conks up by 12. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. 30.
Wow.
Okay. Did you hear Thomas, sir? Okay.
Nope.
Pretty sure if we had our windows open, we could. It did not look happy.
Great job by Caden to go through his progression, though, and go back to find it.
See out.
4. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the 66-yard bomb to Tyler Minor, Conks up 19-7 with 8:12 to go here in the first. Guillory set to boot it away. Hempstead back deep. And this one here is going to be short and going to be returnable, taken by the up man at the 10. And coming in there with a big old hit. Number 22 for the Conks. That is Carlos Awful. And with the return was number 9. That is Peterson, the up man. And boy, Awful, he just put that big old meat hook out and he was stopped.
Yeah.
So the Greyhounds will start 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And coming out is Sharp. He's got Crum in the backfield with him. They're going to go 4 wide receivers, 4-man front. Hand off to Crum, and he gets hit by Lockhart right at the line. He'll fall ahead for a gain of about 3, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. We'll call it 7 for Fort Scott. Now they're going to empty out the backfield. Going to be 5 wide receivers. Sharp will go into hard count, flip it over to the flat, and the pass is going to be incomplete, too high for the intended receiver. That was Harrison. Harrison averages 5 catches a game.
I actually thought the ball was going to the to the wide out there. I didn't even realize he was in the way until he tipped the ball with his hand.
So 3rd down, we'll call it 6. 4 wide receivers, Crum in at tailback. Sharp dropping straight back. Conks will run a stunt. Now flip it over the middle. Pass is going to be intercepted. Coming up there to pick it off, number 18, Lakia Henry. And that time, the intended receiver, I think, was number 4. There's no number 4 there, or maybe it was 9. I couldn't make out the number. But he had it, and he didn't want it. He thought he was going to get hit, man, and he bobbled it.
And you got to look at, I don't know if you noticed that, but they actually changed up the defensive line. They took out some of them big guys and ended up putting 2 smaller defensive linemen in. I didn't actually catch their numbers. And they made that, like you said, a huge stunt across the formation completely.
So Walters in the offense will trot out. Conks. They're going to line up. They're going to go a box and 1 over here to the right. Caden alone in the backfield. Duke McGraw going to be the one. They flip it over, get it to Duke. Can't handle it. Pass is going to be incomplete. They're going to say it was a forward pass. Now Caden out there, John, with one of the down linemen.
Caden is always a brave one.
That's James King, the defensive end. And so that one, I think it was supposed to be a lateral, get it to Duke, and then have Duke throw it downfield maybe. So McMullen back in, Walker in at tailback, Sacamano in at tight end. Thomas will change the play. 4 on the play clock, down to 3. Going to have to hurry here. Just get it off. Caden looking over in the flat for Minner. Makes the catch at the 22-yard line. And let's see. They're going to mark him close to a first down, and we got a penalty flag on the play. It's going to be against the Conks. Well, one guy's clapping for Fort Scott. Caden. Up. That's going to go against Fort Scott. That's James King. So King, who was getting into it with Caden here on the near sidelines.
It's all psychological warfare. That's what Caden's doing right here. He's manipulating the defense into doing what he wants them to do, and that is getting penalty flags.
That's why you want a heady quarterback.
Definitely.
So let's see. That's going to be a 15-yarder. It's a 21-yard line. It's where the ball was. And they're going to mark it down right at the 10. Or just outside the 10-yard line. So the Conks can very well get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but it's going to be really tough. Conks, 2 wide receivers, pro set. As now they'll start the clock. 19-7, Conks up. Thomas changed the play up. Looking wide, got Mills over to the left. They hand off to Walker. Walker gets hit at about the 8 and falls ahead 4. And how often do we see him? He got hit straight on and still somehow slid off there and picked up another couple of yards.
Like I said, all these running backs are they manage to create yards doing the most crazy things that you wouldn't think would make that big a difference, but ultimately just tons and tons of difference every single game.
So Morton will check into the ball game. Sacamano will check out. Conks are going to go 3 wide. Walker in the backfield, 2 wide to the top side. Caden goes on a quick snap. They give it to A.J., and he gets tackled after a gain of about 3, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. And we'll call it 2. Definitely, I think, probably 4-down territory here.
Now, do you think they're going to kick a field goal if we don't get it here?
I think they're going to go for it. And I think they're going to try to scoop Murphy to the outside, do a sweep to the wide side of the field here. They put Morton In at receiver, Mills split wide left. Tight end Liniger here to the near side. Now they're going to put a man in motion. Murphy will move down, and the Conks are going to take a timeout here. We're going to take one to go. 5:55. Conks up 19-7. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network.
I was about to say,
A minute?
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd have multiple people in motion.
I think you can, but after everybody gets set, you can't. What do we got here? Let's update that. Update the Jayhawk Conference. So what do you do here? I'd try to get Murphy to break on a sweep to the wide side.
See, honestly, I think you try that, and if he doesn't make it, you kick a field goal, make up the 3 points you missed.
But the only problem is
blessings.
you're going backwards when there's a chance of losing
Do I have
yard.
time to go to the bathroom after this?
Okay, yeah, you got time.
I mean, they're with the wind, so they're not too bad.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Conks with a 3rd down and 2. Ball spotted at the 3. They got to go to the 1 to get a 1st down. So in the backfield, you got Murphy, you got Walker. Haley and Minner split wide. Now they'll split Murphy out over, put him in the slot. Walker in the backfield. They're going to bring him across. They give it to Murphy, trying to pick up a block. Murphy fumbles the ball. It's loose in the end zone, and Fort Scott falls on it. And Murphy put his head down.
I honestly wonder if his knee was down before he threw the ball out, though. Oh, nope.
Nope. So the Conks turn it up. That's a 4th turnover for the Conquistadors here in the ball game. So it's going to be 1st down Greyhounds. Ball will be at the 20-yard line. So the Conks cannot hang on to the ball.
Well, you wonder if it maybe is because it's getting a little bit cold out, your fingers getting a little bit more raw, you kind of slipping a little bit more.
So Sharp in at quarterback, Crum in the backfield with him. Hand off to Crum, sees a hole, picks up about 5.
And Perry was coming in too late.
Go down
a big old hit.
So 2nd down and 5. Fort Scott, 4 wide receivers. They hand it back off to Crum. Bounces outside, breaks 1 tackle, picks up the 1st down. They're going to be knocked down at about the 35.
And they're running a hurry up here.
And they're running a hurry-up offense. 4-man front for the Conks. They get set up, play action pass. They flip it out in the flat. Ball's going to be bounced up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was Carter, number 84. And, on the coverage, right side was Cremedi, and if he'd looked up, he might have had an interception.
Honestly, I was wondering if it was thrown back enough for it to be a fumble.
2nd down and 10. Sharp dropping back, looking over the middle, has his receiver Aldred, and he makes the catch, pick up a 8, or we'll call it pick up a 7.
And the Greyhounds quarterback there took a nice shot from number 14 from the Conquistadors.
Now here's Sharp, flips it out in the flat, gets it to Aldred, makes the catch, and he's going to be held short of the 1st down. Oh, they're probably going to have to measure it, but let's see. They had to go to the 45, and I think they're going to mark it down.
About a yard
They're going to go
short.
for it on 4th down and 1. 4th down and 1. Crum in the backfield. 4-man front for the Conks. They give it off to Crum. Big hole up the middle. Has more than enough, and he's into Conk territory. Dakota Anderson coming up from his safety position with the tackle. 4 wide receivers hurry up for the Greyhounds. They hand off to Crum. This time nowhere to go. Is holding up Miles Meyer right there along with Pinnerton. And that's going to be no gain on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. things starting to get. So Crum will stay in the backfield. Tripp split wide right. Sharp now looking, trying to get to the outside. Lakia Henry giving chase, runs him out of bounds at about the 42. And he's going to be close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. Oh, they're going to be
pretty short,
jitters.
actually.
3rd down and 3. So the Conks need to get set here. Big 3rd down and 3. 3:51 to go. Conks up 19-7. They hand off to Crum, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picked up a yard. Coming in there was Dana Lockhart from his outside backer position with the tackle. So 4th down and 2 now for the Greyhounds. And Pick's going to go for it. Trips split wide right. Crum in the backfield was Sharp. Carter, the lone receiver here to the near side. They go, play action pass. Looking for it. Got a man receiver down there at the 21, and he runs out of bounds. I think it was Harrison with the catch at the 20. And that time the Conks looked like they lost somebody. Miscommunication.
Well, and that was probably the best pass they've thrown so far into the wind all game.
Conks will shuffle some guys in. Play action pass, they get it out in the flat. Catch is going to be made and going to lose yard. Coming up there, Dakota Anderson. That was Harrison with the catch. And that's going to back him up 4. So now they'll go trips, split wide right. 2nd down, 15, loss of 5 on the play. Crum dropping back, looking over to his left, going for it in the end zone. Pass is going to be, let's see, they're going to say touchdown in the end zone. That is number, I think, 80.
And what a pass.
So that is Marcus Steps. And it's now 19-13 with 2:26 as Southwell in for the extra point. And now we got movement up front, and that's going to back them up 5. Officials talking to make sure the defense didn't make them jump off. No, looks like it's against the Conquistadors. So the defense so that's against the Conquistadors. Southwell will move in a little bit closer here. Here's a high snap, kick up, almost blocked. And now we got a late flag coming in. The extra point is good. We'll take a break. 2:26 to go. You listen to the Conch Radio Network.
Yeah, he said it.
A minute?
Yeah.
We got roughing the kicker? Or?
Yeah, I think so. So there we go. They declined it.
Doesn't that get assessed on the...
I thought it used to, but I guess not.
Not to say, I thought that got assessed on the kickoff.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Greyhound set to boot off into that wind. They have pulled within 2:26 to go. Conks will have that much time with the wind at their back. Murphy scooting up, and now you wonder, this here would be a good time to try an onside kick your Ford Scott maybe.
I mean, we've seen Dodge come out with some pretty crazy different approaches to this special teams strategy, so I wouldn't doubt anything at this point.
So we'll go down and check in with Mr. Bernie here after the kickoff. Southwell to boot it away.
Offside.
And we got an offsides against the Greyhounds. So we'll go down to Mr. Cameron Bernie right there. And that pass play was right on the money down there. You was right down there by that, wasn't you, Cameron?
Yeah, yep, he put that one. I don't think he could have thrown a better ball.
Especially into that wind, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, into a 20, 25 mile an hour wind. It's not as strong as it was at the start of the game, but it is still blowing pretty good.
All righty, it's Cameron Bernie. He'll have Coach Thomas. So Greyhounds are going to re-kick. It'll back them up 5. So the Conks should have excellent field position after this kickoff, but with the 4 turnovers so far in the first half, you never know. So Southwell set once again, and here we go. This one's going to be a sidewinder. Murphy's going to grab it at about his own 20-yard line, bring it out here near side, looking for a hole. Finds a gap, takes it up to the 45 and out to midfield at the 50. So Murphy with a 30-yard return, and the Conks with 2:17 to go.
And notice Murphy had both hands firmly on the ball the whole time.
Coach Thomas not a big fan of the sleeves. And so Conks will trot out. Walters will have Walker in the backfield with him. Haley and Ritchie will split wide left. Morton and Minner here to the near side. 4-man front for the Greyhounds. Thomas will change the play. 7 on the play clock, 2 wide to the top, 2 to the bottom. Caden dropping back, looking over the middle, looking long for Morton. Morton with the catch at the 20. Touchdown, Conquistadors. And Caden put it right on the money. And Morton with a big catch, 50-yard reception, and the Conks up 25-14.
And again with that one, Damon, we got to give Caden some credit on where he's throwing these balls, the precision with the wind. He's thrown a couple perfect balls at this point to get some touchdowns with this wind.
So just like that, one play, 50 yards, and the Conks back up Guillory for the extra point here. High snap, Haley gets it down, kick is up, and it is good. So 26-14, 2:09. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. Yeah, Amanda. This is the type of offense that I'm used to seeing from them.
Where it's actually
right here. Yeah, this in all the years that Thomas has been here, this looks like the offense.
Caden's thrown all 4, hasn't he? They were all 4 passes, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so. You need a notepad down there. I'll get you one next week. How's that? You can make little notes. How cool would that be, huh?
It'd blow all over the place down here, this wind. Need a paper clip.
You can strategize better than that.
How much we got, Amanda? 12. Probably have to come into this one hot. We're coming into a hot LZ.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Guillory set to boot it away. It's going to be high and short. It's going to bounce at about the 3 and be picked up and brought out from the 1-foot line. And, that was not a smart play. And right there was Carlos Awful with not a smart play as well. And the Conks would have had him pinned at the 9-yard line, but then we're going to have a late hit. And that's going to take him all the way up to probably the 24-yard line.
Yeah, there's not much to say. It seems like Dodge always ends up having these just mental plays where they just do not think about what they're doing at that point in time until a couple seconds after they see the yellow flag get thrown in the air.
So 2:06 to go. So 15-yarder instead of having him backed up at the 9, and Conks with 2 timeouts, Greyhounds with 3. So Sharp at quarterback, Crum in the backfield with him, 4 wide receivers. Conks 4-man rush. Sharp dropping back, looking over the middle. Pass is going to be caught near midfield. That's, I think, let's see, that's Harrison with the reception.
And it looks like it's coming back from, I'm guessing, holding.
Going to be a holding.
Holding right there in the middle of the trenches.
And you know when the quarterback's like putting his hands up like, what? Yeah, it's against you. Holding on the offense. It's going to back him up. And you wonder if maybe if Greyhounds are not going back, because that's what's given the Conk defense trouble is that the last week against Iowa Western was those little slant crossing routes there, getting the slot receiver lined up on the linebacker or whatever and basically have speed, against power. So now we got first down and 20. Sharp dropping back. Now he's going to tuck it up, take it himself, try to get to the outside and fall ahead for a gain of about 5, and that's going to bring up second down and 15. Make it 16. Timeout, Fort Scott. So Fort Scott's thinking they might see something they like against this defense here. With 1:48 to go. Let's take a look around top 25 college football action for you. As we'll go here, we'll go Jayhawk Coffeyville on top of NEO A&M College, 7-0. Hutchinson, they win today, 25-13. Defending national champs, Garden City, losing their 3rd game of the year, 41-14. Now top 25 action. As we got Alabama 17-0 over Arkansas, Georgia 14-7 over Missouri. Nebraska trails Ohio State 14-0. Utah USC scoreless. Cincinnati South Florida tied at 3. UCF over East Carolina 21-7. Michigan Minnesota 0-0. And that's it. So second down and 16, 1:48, 4 wide receivers. Conks in a nickel package. 5-man rush. They send to linebacker Henry. Throw it downfield. Ball's going to be popped up short and going to be dropped. And let's see. No, almost caught off the bobble in midair. Is incomplete. And wow, that wind playing havoc today.
And I think the Conquistadors are
only had 9 guys out there.
I was going to say, Conquistadors are feeling really well about that one because they were number 14 for the Conquistadors looking at the sideline trying to figure out what was going on because something was very obviously off.
I think they were short of defenders, so now we get back. Conk's showing blitz here. Sharp in the shotgun. They'll bring somebody off the edge. Now they throw the screen pass to Crum, and he's going to trip up and fall down right at the 20, and you wonder, Thomas going to take the timeout now with 1:32 to go.
I think you just about got to.
Oh, yeah.
I think you got to put some, for this next play, be prepared for a pass if they're not going to punt it, but.
All right, we're going to step away for a moment. We'll be back. You're listening to Conk Radio Network.
30.
Yeah. Hey, Cameron, you going to ask the questions at halftime? There you go. Good job. It's how you get better, man.
You just have to, you can't be scared. You can't let him scare you. As soon as you let him scare you, he wins.
They're actually winning this week, so.
Oh, yeah, but he's going to be more unhappy this
Yeah,
week.
I was going to say. I'm trying to figure out if I want to say anything about the turnovers or just let him talk about it.
Yeah.
Just ask him what's
just
plaguing
ask him.
them.
Let's go. Okay, coming back. 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Conks set. Here they come. Going to try to block it. This punt a little bit better. Gets up in that wind and going to be bounced and put down at about the 46-yard line. So a good punt into that wind. It's about a 22-yarder. So the Conks, with one timeout left in college football, timeouts, you get the clock stopped. You don't have to use a timeout there because it'll stop till they reset. Coach Thomas talking to Guillory there. Getting him set here on the sidelines, I think. Wonder what they're going to try to do. Maybe some more trickeration. Conks will go with 4 wide receiver. Minor in the backfield with Caden. Caden will check over with Thomas. 15 on the play clock. Walters will change the play. 4-man front for the Greyhounds. They're going to roll Caden out. Caden looking downfield. Going to throw it out of bounds. Incomplete. Play took 6 seconds. Second down and 10.
And there
Fort Scott's done a nice job defensively today, covering up anything that they're rolling Caden out to his right. The Greyhounds have covered pretty well.
And there, King was right in Caden's face again. So,
yeah. And you wonder if this isn't a play where maybe they don't try to creep Minor back out of that backfield again. So Caden going to drop back, going to flip it over. One-handed catch is not going to happen this time for Mr. Minor.
Do you got an earphone from Thomas in your ear? Because it seems like every time you try to call out a play, that is exactly the play that gets ran. Is Thomas letting you in on the plays before they happen? Or?
I just know, but I just set in on deals and I ask him why he does this, why he does that, and then I know maybe why he's rolling up. He's going to see if they're coming all this away, then he knows he maybe have something going back that way. 3rd down and 10 for the Conks, minute 11 to go. Thomas going to change the play up. Conks up 26-14 right before halftime. Caden gets a low snap, play action pass, now going to have to scramble out of there. Avoids the rush, throws it downfield, looking for Haley, and has it go through his hands. And Braxton, I'm sure, is thinking he should have had that one. Let's see, are we going to punt it or are we going to go for it on 4th down? The pass goes incomplete. And Thomas going to punt it with 1:03 to go, guys. The wind at his back. Will Stevens.
And I think here this is probably the smart decision. You've seen that they are able to throw it into the wind here, and they've been decently successful. They've just had some penalties get called back. So I think this is the smart move to go at it. Just put him in back.
Stevens gets the high snap, puts it down. Picks it up. Hempstead's going to grab it at about the 7-yard line. And that's where the Greyhounds will start, 1st and 10. Thomas comes out, gives a low 5 to his punter, Mr. Stevens. So the Conk defense now, do you go into prevent defense here? Or do you?
I mean, you got to remember they've had some pretty good success with the running game. I would not just let up and let them have the ability to have a running game actually present. But
they got awful. They got Rodshon Williams in the middle. Then the rest are linebackers pretty much on the front 4. Conks with a 5-man front here. They got Perry playing deep safety. Here comes the blitz off the corner. Going to flip it out in the flat, and Crum was looking for a block. Wasn't looking for the pass. And that's going to be incomplete, 52.9 seconds. So that time they had the screen pass set up, and the Conks had a blitz coming there. And now we'll see if they bring that blitz again. Now they're going to bail out of there. Conks will bail out, not blitzing. They'll put pressure coming off the edge. Coming with it. The quarterback going to run up, going to be close to a 1st down, going to pick up about 9.
And he was stopped.
And that was sharp.
And he was stopped abruptly.
Now the Greyhounds with 40 seconds to go will call a timeout. And we'll take a quick break as well and pay some bills. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network.
I like that one.
You like that one?
I like that one. And pay some bills.
How long?
30. We're only going to pay one bill, though. Oh, I got to put back 42 seconds.
You had to put back 2 seconds, not 42 seconds.
Fire. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 40 seconds in the 3rd down and 1 for the Greyhounds. Conks, one down lineman, play action pass. They get it out, and a flat catch is going to be made far side. That's Harrison, and he'll take it up to the 30. And that'll stop the clock as they move the chains for the 1st down.
Using another timeout here.
Actually, it's going to be a timeout. I think. Was it the Conquistadors calling the timeout?
Conquistadors are out. It would be the Greyhounds here.
It would be the Greyhounds with the timeout. And you had the 1st down there. In 36 seconds, clock was going to be stopped.
Until the changer said, I don't.
And then why wouldn't you
try to use that to your advantage, get another play in? I agree with you. I'm not all that positive unless they're trying to set something up that's big here.
But I thought the Conks had one timeout left.
No, they used it right there towards the end to stop the clock twice so they could get the ball back.
So now we'll have 4 wide receivers. Conks will have one down lineman. That's Rodshad Williams, and the rest are backers up on the front. Now they're going to bail out of there. They'll drop back. Now they'll creep back up. Lakia Henry creeping back up. Sharp in the shotgun, Crum in the backfield. Here comes pressure off the edge. Sharp now going to flip it over the middle, tried to hit Carter. And that pass is going to be incomplete. Everybody having problems with these numbers. 2nd down and 10. And Carter. Cox now will bail out of there. Drop back. Here comes some pressure off the edge as Sharp made a nice move to avoid the sack. Completion is made, and out of bounds is Harrison. And Kobe Perry in on a tackle there, so now it's 3rd down. We'll call it 6. Harrison will get set back up. Far side, 4 wide. Comes pressure off the edge. Sharp steps up in the pocket. Going to get close to a 1st down. Going to have it as he falls ahead near the 44-yard line with 15.7, and that'll stop the clock as they move the chains. Williams in on the tackle. Now they bring Pinnerton into the ballgame. And now Fort Scott
using the last timeout.
Is going to use their last timeout with 11.9 seconds to go, and maybe.
I mean, I don't know. They're doing exactly what we said last time. They got the clock stopped while the chains are moving. Instead of calling another play and maybe calling timeout after that. But
that's their 3rd and final timeout, Fort Scott. So, yeah, and this you wonder. You got the chains moved. You go up and at least, with 13 seconds, spike the ball real quick. Stop the clock that way. Save that timeout for when you get down there. If you hit a big play or whatever, you got time to maybe, get some subs in or something.
I mean, what are we looking at? 60 yards? You're definitely going to have one more play, I would think. But
so the Conks will come out in their dime package. Pretty much all linebackers. Except they'll have Brandon Pinnerton will line up at nose guard. Conks will see if they bail out of there. Now they're going to drop back into coverage, prevent defense, 3-man rush. Sharp flips it over the middle, hits his wide receiver with the catch. That is Aldred. And that's going to do it. And that's going to be the end of the 1st half as the Conks lead it 26-14. As we'll wait Cameron Burney down on the sideline. Going to get Coach Thomas. Coach Thomas thinking about what kind of great interview he's going to give Cameron there. Waiting for his players to get off the field. Going to talk to Coach Landgren a little bit. Dr. Guerrier is Coach Thomas walking around. And Cole, you got to be happy here in the You're up 26-14, but as you said, we have 4 turnovers in the ball game. Guys not hanging on to the ball. And we're going to go down to Cameron right now. And Cameron, go ahead on with Coach T.
Hey, thanks, guys. Coach, you got to be happy with the offensive so far, minus the turnovers. Caden, 4 touchdown passes in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing what we thought we could do. I told the guys we needed to score 21 in the wind, in the quarter that we had the wind, and we did that. But 4 turnovers in the first half. I mean, we should have scored 28 in that quarter. I mean, we're going to be first and goal on the 1-yard line on that last fumble, and I mean, they literally haven't stopped us yet. But 4 turnovers is unacceptable. So I mean, we got some things to fix here, and they're going to get the win here in the third. I'm going to take it in the fourth. So we've got to play lights out here in this third quarter and protect the football, and we got to figure some things out on defense here. We're kind of up and down, but yeah, we thought we could throw the ball, and receivers have made some plays, but we've also got 2 fumbles at receiver too. So.
Okay, well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Thanks.
All righty. Cameron Burney down there with a much softer, easier halftime report from the sideline
It's
there.
easier when you're winning by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, that's right. All right, we'll be back with the B&E Waste Systems halftime report. You're listening to the Conch Radio Network.
Okay, I got you for 2.
Okay. Yeah, he was only happy a little bit, though. Yeah, it is. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Conchs lead it 26-14. Let's take a look at some halftime stats brought to you by B&E Waste Systems. B&E Waste Systems, your locally owned and operated trash removal service in the Dodge City area. No job too big or too small for Larry and the boys down at B&E. Stop by and see him at 2301 Central Avenue. Give him a call, 620-225-6580. First downs in the ballgame. Conch 16-11 advantage. Rushing, Fort Scott 23 of 73. Conch 24 rushes for 112 yards. Passing yards 110 for Fort Scott, 197 for the Greyhounds. Fort Scott 12 of 25 with 1 interception. Conch, meanwhile, Caden Walters 11 of 19 with 1 pick in the ballgame. Fort Scott kicking off 48 offensive plays for 183 yards. Conks 43 plays, 309 yards here in the first half. Kickoff returns, Fort Scott 2 for 27, Conks 1 for 30. Interception return yards, Fort Scott with 1 pick for 35 yards, Conks 1 for 3 yards. Punts in the ball game, considering the wind here, Fort Scott averaging 25.4, Conks averaging 35. Fumbles in the ball game, Fort Scott with 1, they lost it. Conks 3 fumbles, they lost all 3 of them. Penalties in the ball game, Fort Scott 6 for 72, Conks 4 for 37. Time of possession 16:56, 13:04 for the Greyhounds. Third down conversions, Fort Scott 3 of 12, Conks 3 of 8. Fourth down conversions, Greyhounds 2 of 2, Conks 1 of 1. Red zone scoring chances, Conks 1 of 2 in the ball game, Fort Scott 1 of 1. When we come back, we'll take a look at your individual numbers. It's the B&E Waste Systems halftime report right here on your home for Conk Sports, 1550 AM, the Sports Town, and on the web at conksports.com. It is all part of that Conk Radio Network. Yeah, give me 2. Hey, is there an extra chair in there? Huh? Well, sit down. Grab a chair. Is there one in there? Huh? Well, grab one. You can sit down, dude. You've been standing the whole time. How many chairs are in there? 4? There you go. 2, 2, 2.
Got to email teacher. Let her know. Here.
Oh, so you get credit?
Yeah, because it counts for 1 workout if we show up today. So I wanted to make sure I get my credit for one day.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was kind of just jogging, and then he saw the ball was going to be over his head or whatever.
I thought, yeah, when he first stuck his hand up there, I thought Caden overthrew it.
I did too.
And then that one in the end zone for them, that he couldn't have put that more perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And he put it between whoever that cornerback's hands were here, and he put it between them.
Tell you what, Caden's having a pretty good game, all things considered.
Yeah.
I think that they should have had 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah, I do too.
Should have had 2 more, and I don't know what was that 2-point conversion, the first one?
I don't know. We're going to ask about that, though.
Why didn't you ask about that in the halftime show?
Yeah, why didn't you ask
You're
that?
down there. You're talking to him. You could have asked questions.
The 2-point conversion try.
Oh, he doesn't get made fun of?
How much time? Okay.
Now you're down to 6.
Okay. What?
You make fun of him for candy?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the B&E Waste Systems halftime report. No, I'm not going to tease him, Cole, because he didn't come in with a feed bag of candy. He had 1 candy bar.
I don't see the difference in it, to be honest.
Welcome back to the B&E Waste Systems halftime show extravaganza. Looking at individual numbers. First up for Fort Scott, Darius Abrams with 8 carries, 44 yards, at 4.8 on the ground. Elijah Crum, 5 carries for 25 yards. He's got 4.8 as well. Garrett Sharp, 10 rushes, 37 yards. He's averaging just 1 yard, though, as he's got 11 yards, minus 11 yards. Or, excuse me, 26 minus yards there. Passing-wise, Sharp, though, 12 of 25, 110 yards, 1 TD. Long pass was a 25-yarder. He's been sacked 4 times in the ball game today. Receiving-wise, Aldred with 5 catches for 41 yards. Kyle Harrison, 4 catches for 33 yards. Marcus Steps, 1 catch for 25 yards. He's got the touchdown in the ball game. And Abrams, 1 catch for 9 yards. Southwell, the punter, 5 punts so far in the ball game, 127 yards, 25-yard average. Kick returns, you got Hempstead with 1 return for 9 yards. Colby Peterson, 1 return for 18 yards. Tackles in the ball game, Tyrone Neal with 5 total tackles. Raekwon Morgan with 4. Dominic Chizuzik with 3.5 tackles. And Tyson Curry with 3 tackles in the ball game. Curry with 1 tackle for a loss. Now over the Conch side, rushing-wise, Murphy, 5 carries for 39 yards, averaging 7.8. Walker, 7 carries for 34 yards. He's averaging 4.9. Minor, 8 carries for 31 yards, 3.8 yards per carry. Watkins, 2 carries for 7 yards, averaging 3 yards per carry. Murphy, though, with a 25-yarder in his pocket today. Walters, 11 of 19 with 1 interception, 197 yards, 4 touchdowns. And the longest pass play was a 66-yarder to Minor in the ballgame. Receiving-wise, Austin Watkins, 3 catches for 10 yards. Haley, 2 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown. Minor, 1 catch for 66 yards and a touchdown. And Morton, 1 catch for 50 yards and a touchdown. Stevens in the ballgame has 2 punts for 35-yard average, 1 inside the 20. Murphy, 1 kick return for 30 yards. Tackles in the ballgame. Dakota Anderson getting the start tonight. 9.5 tackles in the ballgame, 2 tackles for a loss. Lakia Henry, 6 total tackles in the ballgame, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Pennerton, 3 tackles in the ballgame, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss. And Perry in the ballgame with 3 total tackles for him. When we come back, we'll take a look at your scoring drives. It's the B&E Waste Systems halftime report right here on 1550 AM, the Sports Sound, and on the web at ConkSports.com. It is all part of that Conk Radio Network. Okay.
Oh, did they drop?
What?
Did they drop?
I don't know. They do.
Tell you what, my hand's starting to cramp up on me a little bit when it gets cold out.
Hey, Amanda, are we on the air? Okay, you might check that radio out just in case. Because my wife just texted me and goes, how come you're not on the air?
Coming over the radio and the...
Okay.
When we get back.
That was at 6.
Go out there.
All right, that was at 6:21. What time do we kick off? 6? Yeah, okay. Hold on, where are we missing?
That kicker wasn't paying any attention at the end when Thomas was hollering at him. He was standing down there talking.
Yeah.
He was Miami over toward the front. Turned around and he jogged over. Yeah, Miami. He had no clue what was going on.
3, 2.
Welcome back to the B&E Waste Systems halftime extravaganza. Let's take a look at the scoring drives in the first half. 4:26 mark of the first quarter. Haley, 19-yard pass from Walter. Guillory kick is good. Conks led 7-0. Then at the 2:59 mark, Fort Scott with a Darius Abrams 27-yard run. Southwell quick kick is good. It was a 7-play, 65-yard drive. Took a minute and a half. We were tied at 7. And then Anthony Watkins with a 29-yard pass from Walters. Extra point failed. It was an 8-play, 65-yard drive. Took 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Conks went up 13-7. And then the big play of the ballgame at the 8:12 mark of the second quarter. Minor, a 66-yard pass from Walters. The extra 2-point conversion failed. That was a 3-play, 91-yard drive. Took a minute 8, and that made it 19-7. Then Fort Scott with a Marcus Steps 25-yard pass from Garrett Sharp. Southwell kick was good. It was a 12-play, 80-yard drive. Took 3 minutes, 22 seconds. That made it 19-14. Then with 2:09 to go in the first, Morton with a 50-yard pass from Walters. Guillory kick was good. One play, 50-yard drive, took 8 seconds. Conks went up 26 to 14, and that is a look at the scoring drive. And Cole, you know, offensively, I think Coach Thomas feels pretty good about what he's got going on.
Oh, well, yeah, I think their offense is unstoppable. I don't think that they have legitimately been stopped but about a couple times. I think that, honestly, Conquistadors should be up about 2 more touchdowns, but we've just had, you know, the issue with giving them the ball at just the worst possible points in time. They in reality should be up 14 more points, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think, too. And well, check the weather. We started off, it was 75 degrees. It's down to 65. Winds blowing. It's died down a little bit. Mr. Cameron was right. It's died down a little bit. Instead of 25 to 38, we're down to 22 to 33 gust miles per hour. So Mr. Bernie's weather vane is right on target there. We'll come back, take a look at top 25 and games going on around the conference. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network.
Look at you,
Okay.
meteorologist and stuff over here.
On that end, it's not blowing as hard because it's more coming out from that center. And you got the stands and stuff blocking some of it down there. But man, you walk around this corner down here and it's inside the 20 now.
Honestly, I think they should just build it to where it's a dome almost. Just build around.
Early in the game, the sun was a problem because it was shining off
Yeah.
the side. Was it Watkins that dropped that little bubble screen?
Yeah.
One of the number 1 Watkins was having himself a struggle.
2 fumbles.
Well, Butler game's not going to kick off till 9:30 tonight.
Delayed it 2 hours.
A little bit of harsh weather around.
Hey, we got down there and it started pouring right as the game was supposed to start. They called it. We had to pack up, come back.
Yeah,
Then
you
go back
told me
on
that
set.
day.
Yeah.
Are we coming back with my second half?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, we're not going to short you, man.
Well, you
Relax.
just got to remind me, man. You can't catch me off guard. You're gonna
Second half, Cole's keys, second half.
This is going to be the easiest Cole Skis of the game than there is. So
Yeah. Stop them on defense. We're done. I'm out.
no.
Mic drop.
Hold on to the ball.
Yeah, right. Don't let them score 18 points.
Okay. Coming back with a little push there to go into Cole's keys to victory. It's the B&E Waste Systems halftime report.
All right, fresh baked, fresh chopped, fresh made. Now that's fresh. And I will say this: I had a sandwich before the game.
And where'd you go, Cole?
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's.
It was a delicious sandwich. I'll say that. Got me ready to go. But my keys of the game for the second half, probably the most obvious thing you could think of for the Conquistadors, and that's hold on to the ball. With 3 fumbles, we're just giving them turnovers. If we hold on to the ball, there's no reason the offense isn't going to get stopped this game, at least not that I can see. As long as the defense keeps playing their game and maybe saw it up a little bit, this game's in the bag for the Conquistadors tonight.
All righty, and that's Cole's keys to the second half, brought to you by Jimmy John's Freaky Fast. And I wonder what my wife's got for me cooked up there for when I get home tonight from the game. It's going to be interesting, but you know, now we keep talking about it because I haven't eaten anything since about noon. I had 1 ham sandwich, and I'm like going, now you're talking sandwiches, I'm thinking, ooh, Jimmy John's after the game.
Could order one up here.
Could order one up here. So we're about a minute away from second half action. Get you an update around college football here. Air Force Prep Butler game got moved back to 9:30 tonight. Independence and Highland is set to go tomorrow. That game's going to kick off at 1. Coffeyville up 14-7 over Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Earlier today, Hutch knocks off Ellsworth 25-13. Iowa Western big over Garden City 41-14. And that is all. Next week, Conks, we're going to be on the road. Big game, Highway 50 rivalry against the Garden City Buffaloes. The Conks will try to avenge the loss they got last year from the defending national champions. So we're going to come out as Fort Scott will receive the ball. Conks, as we heard Coach Thomas said, he is going to take the wind or go take the wind in the fourth quarter, and he says we're going to need to really stay on it here in the third quarter as they'll be going into the wind. Fort Scott will be set to receive. Hempstead will be standing back on his own. We'll call it the 7-yard line.
Now, the real question is, do we think we're seeing another onside here? I know it's a brave move, but last time it was a pretty brave move as well. So,
and I'm just, but that was before Fort Scott started finding something where they were getting the pass plays going. They were starting to hit the receivers and stuff. So we will see what happens. As Guillory set to boot it into the wind. Conks getting set. Hempstead back deep on his own 7-yard line. This is going to be a knuckleball. It's going to roll down, going to be grabbed at about the 17-yard line by Hempstead. Has a hole, trying to get to the outside, out across the 35, out to the 50, and Haley's going to run him out of bounds at about the 35-yard line of the Conquistadors, and the Conks that time got out of their lanes.
Almost would have been a better spot to just go ahead and kick the onside and give him the ball at probably about the 40.
Yep. So now the Conk defense, which the second half has been their bugaboo.
Yep.
As we've watched the last game here at home against Independence and against Butler. We'll come out. Sharp is your quarterback. Looking out to his left, going to throw it in the flat, and him and the receiver off on the page there as the receiver had broke down to the first down marker, and Sharp had thrown it out about 7 yards, 2nd down and 10. So incomplete. Ball spotted at the Conk 39-yard line. Now they give off to Crum as he heads straight up the middle, and he's going to maybe pick up a yard, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. And we'll see if we can get a 3 and out here, but definitely I'm guessing this is probably 4 down territory for the Greyhounds.
Definitely right.
Conks with a 4-man front. Henry will call out the defensive assignments. Conks getting close to being offsides out here on the near side. No flag on the play. Sharp drops back, flips it over the middle, and almost intercepted far side. I think that was Cremedi on the coverage. 4th down and 9. And it looks like they're going to punt it.
I think the Conks kind of got a little bit lucky there. It seemed like our safety on the far side of the field was a little bit confused of where he was exactly supposed to be, and you kind of saw the receiver was open there for just a little bit. Had the inside open to him. It could have been a really bad situation for the Conquistadors if the ball was thrown a little bit more on target.
So Martin will stand on his own 8-yard line. Here's the snap. Conks coming for it. Don't get there. Punt's going to be bounce and go into the end zone, so they'll get it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And, yeah, it looked like Sharp had taken something off of that ball there because he short-armed it, and it goes short. But he had a receiver that it broke open and had everybody beat.
Yeah, I'm wondering maybe if the route was intending for him to kind of cut in, or maybe he just was scared to overthrow it again because he's seen him overthrow it a couple times going with the wind as well. So
and maybe that's one, where your receiver's got him beat, you put it up and get a little air under it and just kind of let him run underneath it. But the Conks will start first and 10. Walker will be in the backfield with Walters. You got Mills split out wide left. Haley to the top of the field. McMullen in at fullback. Thomas will call the play from the side. Now Greyhounds with 5 guys at the line of scrimmage. Going to hand off to Walker. Has a hole over right side and falls ahead for a gain of about 3. And that's going to bring up second down. We'll call it 7. And it looked like they were short, like the Greyhounds were short on that side if Walker could have got through there.
See, I was honestly surprised that the changeup wouldn't have been a pass play, to be honest. They had about 7 in the box, 8 in the box to start that play. That's a lot of people to not throw it to the outside and let your receivers do some work here. So now second down, we'll call it 7. Just underway here in the second quarter. Conks up 26-14. Walters hands off to Walker. Walker gets tackled there. That is 82, James King. And late penalty flag. I'm guessing this is going for the Conquistadors. And we got a late flag. Looked like let's see. Conquistador lineman got shoved or pushed, tripped or something right there towards the end of the play, or right after the play was over. So we'll see what the call is. There is no foul on the play. So now it's going to be third down. We'll call it a long 4 or short 5 for the Conquistadors. Walker in the backfield. Conks, 4 wide receivers. Walters in the shotgun. 4-man front. Thomas will change the play. Caden goes to the line, now gets set, and we are ready. Play off, hand off to Walker. Big hole over right side. Has the first down. Picks up 7. And AJ, for having all that power, when he gets to the line, he's got that turbo, man. I think all these running backs for the Conquistadors got the turbo on these whenever they get on the field. But so now first and 10 for the Conks. They're heading into that wind, blowing, gusting up to 33 miles per hour. As Caden now checks over with the side. Conks with trips here to the near side. 1 receiver to the top. Hand off to Walker, trying to get to the outside, and the Greyhounds right there. And really, I think that might be. That looked to me as if it was almost a blown play, because it looked like Caden was trying to run out and almost ran into Walker. Only the 3rd running play for a loss today for the Conquistadors. And look, they're going to say, where are they going to mark it? They got it at the 31, 32s. Yeah, so a loss of 1 on the play, second down and 11. Trips here to the near side. Minner, lone receiver to the top. Haley, Watkins, and Mills here to the bottom, and Thomas wants to take a timeout. As he's going to talk to his coaches here and bring him over the sidelines. That'll leave him with 2. We'll get you some updates on some games going on. Alabama now 24-0 over Arkansas. Georgia, Missouri 31-21, 3:53 to go in the second. And that one, Ohio State 28-0 over Nebraska. Utah, USC tied at 7. Former Dodge City Conquistador All-American Marquise Blair starting to play quite a bit for the Utes. Cincinnati trailing South Florida 16-3. Minnesota 3-0 over Michigan State. And UCF over East Carolina 42-14. Coming up a little bit later, Washington at Arizona State. Boise State at San Diego State, and Oregon is at Stanford. Only game going on in the Jayhawk is, besides us, is Coffeyville at Northeastern Oklahoma. And Coffeyville up with 3:36 to go in the first quarter in that one, 14-7. I think they should be. Yep, that's it. Conks up here, 26-14. So the Conks come back, second down and 11. They're going to switch it up. They'll bring a tight end or McMullen into the ball game. They'll slide him across the line, give the ball off to Walker. Walker will follow him and pick up a couple, and then AJ
hit a brick wall and got pushed back. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 9. Clock will run, 11:29 to go. And that's another thing with having these backs like you got. They can chew up some clock right here.
Yep, definitely. And right now I think Thomas is thinking about whether he wants to try to throw the ball or if he just wants to try to get a good run up the middle. This is kind of a tough spot being about, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9?
And he's going to go with 5 wide receivers. No backs in the backfield. Caden will be all alone. We'll see if the Greyhounds bring the blitz. Jazauskas has been pretty quiet today, and they're going to bring him. Caden looking over the middle, and now avoids one rush. Caden going to roll out of there, looking downfield. Has Minner. Caden's going to tuck it up and try to take it himself and run out of bounds at about the 42 or 37-yard line. And right there, you kind of wonder because he had a wide receiver open going across, but he was rolling to his left, so you didn't want him to throw it.
Honestly, I think that's a really smart move on Caden's part. He's had issues throwing a little bit on the move into the wind here. I don't see the problem with him just trying to catch up some yards and try to get the first down. I think he was more afraid of either A, throwing it past the line of scrimmage because he can't see it easily, or B, throwing an interception when you're just not needed right now.
Caden avoiding the sack there. Here's the snap. Conks just get it off, and a nice punt into the wind by Stevens. Going to be bounced and picked up at the 30-yard line by Hempstead. And he's going to take it up to the 35, so a return of 5. And the Conk defense will come out. So Stevens to the 30. The Conks had it at the 35-yard line. So that's going to be a 35-yard punt into the wind. And how big was that play of Caden avoiding a sack right there and rolling out and getting at least 2 yards, because they would probably be having the ball inside the Conk, on their side of the line, in their territory, I should say. Conks now calling up as they're having some communication problems defensively. And now here comes a blitz over the middle. Pass is going to be incomplete off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Abrams.
Perry was really close to having the opportunity to intercept that ball. If he misses 2 steps, I think that bounces legitimately into his hands.
So 2nd down and 10. 4 wide receivers. Crum in the backfield with Sharp. Sharp looking over. Passes off the fingertips. Intended receiver there was Aldred.
And that's the second just bounced off the fingertips pass that we've seen so far.
And like I said, when you got that wind at your back, that pass gets on you a lot faster when it's blowing like it is. 3rd down and 10. Conks creeping up. Now they'll pull everybody off. 4-man rush. They find a receiver far side. Has it across midfield. Takes it up to the 41-yard line. That's number 84. That is Carter. So a 1st down for the Greyhounds. Now they hand off to Crum. Crum with a big hole up the middle, but Nazir Wright coming over. Closes fast. And that's going to be a pickup of 9. 2nd down and 1, and maybe take a shot down the field here into the end zone. And that looks like what Sharp's going to do. Now he's going to tuck it up. Lakia Henry going to chase him out near side and wrap him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So that's a pickup of about 7 on that play. Clock stopped with 9:35. Sharp in the shotgun. Looking over the middle. Pass is going to be way too high. And it looks like he might have been going for Daughtry. We're going for Harrison, number 10. There was 2 receivers in the area. 2nd down and 10. And our sideline guy, Cameron Burney, down there trying to stay loose, stretching the quads, all that. Here we go, 2nd down and 10. Sharp in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Here comes the 4-man rush. It's taken off as Sharp, and Perry coming up with a big hit, knocks him out of bounds for a gain of just about a yard. Now Avery Edwards will check into the ballgame. Savage will check out for the Conks. So the Conks able to sub in some guys up front. Sharp in the shotgun, dropping back, looking over to his left, flips it out in the flat, and the catch is going to be made between two defenders. And that's going to be enough for the first down, and the Conks were right there, just a step too late.
Yeah, you got to give the receiver there for some credit. He actually caught it the ball slid between two defenders.
Now there's a handoff to Crum. He cuts it back and picks up about 5, and that's going to bring up second down and 5. Fort Scott in a hurry-up right now. Conks a little bit on their heels. They're right at the 10-yard line. They got to go to the 5 or the 4-yard line to pick up the first down. Crum will get the handoff, and he's going to lose a couple on that one. And that'll be tackled back at the 7.
And I'm thinking Crum's a little hurt. It looked like he kind of got rolled up on there. That's good to see him get up and run, but I could have sworn that the way his legs looked, like he did not go in the right directions of his feet.
And it looks like Abrams, who started the game, will come back in at tailback. 4 wide receivers. Conks with a 4-man front. They're going to blitz off the corner. Sharp's going to step up, and he's going to get wrapped up in the backfield and be sacked for about a 2-yard loss. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 12, and it looks like they're going to try the field goal. As Southwell has 9 of 9 field goals this season. He'll be marked close to the left hash. Looks like it's going to be about a 33-yarder. Here's the snap, hold down, kick up. And it is good. So with 7:33 to go, Conks up 26-17. We'll take a break. You listen to the Conk Radio Network.
How long?
A minute.
I will say one thing. I'm kind of impressed that we stopped him. It looked like they were doing a pretty good amount of marching.
Gosh, yeah.
Honestly, whenever, was it King? Who was the running back that had to go out? Crum. I thought it looked like someone caught him here and he twisted back. I thought that he did his knee in, honestly. See the players trying to stay warm.
Hey, after the kickoff, I'll come down to you, Cameron. Nine-point game.
Them extra points are going to come back to haunt them, I think.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Here's the kickoff by Southwell. Murphy's going to reach up, try to grab it. No, Rodney, he wants to return one today. As it goes through the end zone, the Conks will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Next action for the Conks are going to be on the road the next 2 weeks. We'll be at Garden City next Saturday night. And then the following week, we'll be in Coffeyville, Kansas to take on the Red Ravens. So Thomas talking to his offense. They trot out onto the field. You're going to have Murphy will be in the backfield with Caden. Mills and Watkins split wide left. Morton and Haley split wide right. So Murphy in the backfield with Caden. He'll get the handoff. Murphy takes it ahead and picks up a couple. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. So half the quarter is gone, and the Conks have just given up the 3 points.
I mean, when you look at it, when you're looking at it, I think the Conks are doing a pretty fine job. They got stopped the first drive out. I don't think it's as big of a deal. You're eating up a ton of time, and there's also a lot of points that the Greyhounds have to catch up with.
So now we got 3 wide receivers. They'll bring in Liniger, the tight end. Conks with a 2nd down. We'll call it 8. Ball at the 27. Hand off to Murphy. Hole over right side. Murphy breaks it, takes it up close to a 1st down. Let's see. I think they're going to mark him. They're going to say move the chains. And that is twice. Rodney has almost broke it tonight. Thomas, now that he's got a new set of downs, taking plenty of time calling a play. So Murphy, shotgun. Cameron, I haven't forgot about you yet there. Cox with 2 wide. Hand off to Murphy. Murphy dives ahead and picks up about 3, and that's 2nd down and a 7. Cameron, what did Coach Callahan have to say to his defense there?
Yeah, thanks, Damon. Hey, he was happy that they stopped him on the goal line, but obviously he wasn't happy that they got down to that point. Happy with the goal line defense.
All righty.
And just a little side note, Perry came off the side and was pointing at his lower right leg or his ankle. They're looking at him down here now. So.
All righty. Thank you, Cameron Burney, the crack sideline guy. Dubs here to the near side. A handoff to Murphy. Murphy shoots ahead and picks up about another 3 yards there. And that's going to bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 3 as we got an injured Conquistador down, and I think that is Khalik Washington. As trainers out on the field, they're going to roll him over.
I think he got rolled up on a little bit in the trenches there. I think he, on some of them down blocks, I think that he actually had an offensive lineman to his right or left kind of fall on him a little bit, maybe catch his leg. Hopefully nothing's.
They got him rolled over to his back there. Coach Thomas and head trainer Brian Harvey out on the field to check him out. And Thomas checking over his big right tackle, Khalik, 6'5", 290.
Very large boy.
Conch lead it 26-17, 5:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. As they are now out helping him, and comes up, looks like he's walking off under his own power. Now he'll get a little bit of help.
Looks like
favoring that right leg a little bit.
Looks rather unwilling. I don't think he's wanting much help, but
coming off sideline. So into the ball game will be Gabe Alvarez. He'll move over to center. Jake Whitehead will slide over to the guard position. And we got a 3rd down. We'll call it 4. Conks with 3 wide receivers. Murphy in the backfield with Caden. You wonder if maybe they run an option to the right side here. As Thomas wants to change it again, 8 on the play clock. Caden will shuffle Rodney over. Now get him behind him. 3rd down. Hand off to Murphy, and Caden's going to roll around the right side, pick up the 1st down. Caden gets knocked back but stays on his feet and takes it into Greyhound territory. And coming up there was Hempstead, tried to lay a big blow on Caden, and Caden just kind of brushed him off and kept on his feet.
Yeah, we got to give Caden some props. We don't see him go on runs like that very often, but I'm glad that he see that he can do that without taking a huge hit and getting himself hurt.
And you wonder, he was sitting there moving Rodney around like he was. If maybe they wasn't keying on Rodney, and whichever way Rodney went, that's pulled even more guys bought into that fake there. 1st down and 10 for the Conks. They give it to Murphy, dances around the front of the line, takes it up ahead for a gain of about 7. And now the Conks are just starting to pound and ground.
We got to give Rodney some credit on that one. I think I saw his jersey stretch.
Almost come off.
Yeah.
So 2nd down, we'll call it 4. 4:03 to go here in the 3rd. Walters will come to the line, call the play. Now get back. Murphy in a tailback. McMullen comes in, checks in at fullback. 6 on the play clock. Conks up 26-17. A handoff to Murphy, following his blocker. Bounces off one guy, takes it ahead. Going to have enough for another 1st down, and that'll move the chains.
We got to give some props to them big boys. After having an offensive lineman go out, they are still getting a good run block going on.
So Watkins will check into the ball game. McMullen's going to check out. Sacamano will shift over to the right of the line. He'll get lined up at tight end. Murphy will stay at tailback. Mills, lone receiver here to the near side. Walters in the shotgun. Hands off to Murphy. Murphy breaks through the line and picks up about 3. And that's going to bring up second down. We'll call it 7. 3:06 to go here in the third quarter as Miner will check in now. Murphy going to check out, get a well-deserved rest, and here comes McMullen back in. Watkins going to check out as well.
Watkins looking like he's almost limping a little bit there.
So Mills and Haley will be your wideouts. Sacamano or Liniger at tight end. McMullen at fullback. Miner in at tailback. Thomas calling the play. 5 on the play clock. Caden calls it. Now gets set, and they're going to have to call a timeout, and wisely do with 1 second left on the play clock. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Conch Radio Network. Give me 30.
Washington rolled his ankle.
Did he?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. They're taping it now, and and they're running the tape across it, and he's in a little bit of pain. So
probably not coming back.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. What about Watkins? He looked like he was limping. I don't know if he's actually hurt or not.
Where's he at?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Injury report down on the sidelines. Khalik Washington, they taped up that right ankle. He's still favoring it quite a bit there as he walks around on the sideline, but up walking on his own. Thanks, Cameron, for that update. And it looks like we got Radshawn Williams down here, maybe getting some extra tape on his ankle. Haley will split wide right. Mills here to the near side. McMullen in at fullback. Murphy back into the ball game. Maybe if they ain't going to try to get him outside wide some way. Liniger lined up on the right side at tight end.
Looks like
the Greyhounds now with 5 guys right at the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Murphy, dances through the line, takes it ahead, and maybe picks up a yard, and now we got a flag in late. And Murphy not happy with himself. Now let's see what it's going to be.
There's a little bit of chippiness going on down there.
Yeah, it looked like defensive lineman and an offensive lineman. Or John with each other. You wonder if it's going to be
when you wonder if maybe
offsetting penalties.
We were wondering maybe if in that pileup something was happening to Murphy, and that's why he's so jacked up.
Hands to the face against James King. That's the second time today, and that's a big penalty.
I'm telling you.
And that's going to move the Conchs all the way up to the Greyhound 18-yard line. What are you telling me, Cole?
Psychological warfare is going out on that field right now. Caden started it with him. Now it's just getting continued. He's getting him in his head. He's making him lose full. Happens.
Happens to the best of us.
I know. I've been kicked out of a game before. I know.
Yeah, we know. So Sacamano will check in at tight end. Murphy will be at tailback. McMullen lined up at fullback. Mills and Haley, your wideouts. They'll slide McMullen across. They'll pitch it out, get it to Murphy. Murphy gets hit right as he gets the ball and takes it ahead for a gain of maybe a yard. And the Greyhounds were not fooled on that one. They ran right at James King there.
Hey, Damon, sorry to interrupt you, but you said something about Rodshad Williams down here.
Yep.
Just going to retape the ankle.
Okay.
Just didn't like the way it was, I guess, so it's going to retape it.
All righty. Thanks for that crack sidelining. Yeah. That's why Cameron gets the big bucks. So now we got an official who wants to reset the clock.
I'm kind of wondering here, do you think
and now they get it back going again. Minute 37 left in the third. Second down. I'm going to say no gain on the play. Go ahead.
Do you think that maybe taking a shot with Caden, having Caden roll to that far side again, would be a shot at it?
Now they're going to drop him back, and he's going to lob it up in the end zone for Mills, and Mills makes a diving catch. Touchdown, Conquistadors! And Caden just threw it up, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game, and it was a 19-yarder. He laid it out there, and Mills said, "Oh, I got it." Coach Thomas happier than a sea tick on a yellow yard dog.
What?
There you go. You never heard that one.
No, that one I've never heard of. The entire box is laughing at that one.
So Guillory on for the extra point. And the extra point is up, and it is good. So the Conks go up 32-17, and that ate up about 6 minutes of the clock. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. Late flag coming in. We'll get out of here.
Okay, so a minute?
Yeah, probably. Who is it?
What was that verse again?
Yeah, look. Number 65, that's Martin Brooks. Ooh, that's backing us up to the 20, dude. Martin Brooks.
The 66 is Martin Brooks.
Go ahead.
He tried to run over the defensive lineman after the ball went through the uprights. They've been gelling all game.
Oh, okay.
Coach is talking to him.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Guillory set to kick off now from the 20-yard line. Greyhound's going to have a minute 19 with this wind at their back, and I think it's picking up a little faster now, and this is going to be picked up at about the 36-yard line by Hempstead. Hempstead breaks one tackle and then gets knocked down at the 47-yard line by Carlos Offel on the tackle. And, you know, take a look because as Cameron had said, that wind had been dropping here a little bit. But it looks like it's picking up now, Cameron.
It's picked up quite a bit down here now, yeah. Temperature's starting to drop, and the wind's picking back up. So going the opposite of what I said in the first half.
Yeah, we're back up to 25 and gusting up to 38. So the Greyhounds will start 1st and 10 at the Conk 48-yard line. They'll run a pitch out there. Sharp's going to keep it himself. Going to pick up about 10, now 12. Make it about 14 yards down to the Conquistador 33-yard line. And the clock will stop as they move the chains. Now it'll get set and go. Trips here to the near side. They hand off to Crum. Crum takes it ahead, puts his head down, and he picks up about 4. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. We'll call it 6. And, boy, you want to try to score at least in this last 40 seconds here. 2nd down and 6. Trips here to the near side. Sharp dropping straight back to pass. Looking over the middle, has a wide receiver all alone. Touchdown, Greyhounds. And it's 23-33 right now with 28.5.
Yeah, that's.
And the Conks, you saw miscommunication in the backside there. And Cameron, you'll have to be listening in to what happened on that play.
It seems like
breaking free was Aldridge.
It seems like the secondary all game has had a little bit of confusion or a little bit of confusion is probably the best word for it with each other. They seem to always be looking at each other, trying to get a call or trying to get something to across to the other person.
And now they're going to go for 2. Sharp rolling out, looking out in the flat, and the pass is going to be incomplete. So now it stays at a 10-point ball game instead of an 8-point game. So we'll take a break. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. Give me 30. Again, man. We can't hold on to a lead.
I was like, if they can stop him here, they haven't done much against the wind, and they don't have much momentum.
Yeah.
But
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Conks hold on to a 10-point lead. Rodney Murphy standing deep in the end zone. Wants to get one more shot here, trying to get a return set up. But Southwell's done a nice job all game of punching that through the end zone. And this one, Murphy tried to pull it in. And it goes through the end zone. And Rodney not happy with himself because I think he saw a lot of open grass there.
I think he probably sees a lot of open grass on every play. But
never saw a kickoff he didn't like.
Yep.
28.5 seconds left here in the third. And the Conks will have the wind at their back. And probably one good run and play here, and we're going to be moving to the fourth quarter. 33-23, Conks up by 10. Minor will come out. He'll be in the backfield. McMullen will be at fullback. Morton and Watkins split wide left. Watkins looks over the defense, and now
seems like a really fast delay of game, but
so that's a delay of game against the Conquistadors.
Seemed rather fast. I didn't even think they were.
So now it's going to be first down and 15. Walters checks over the defense. Hands off to Minor. Minor heads straight up the middle and picks up maybe a yard, and that's going to bring up second down. We'll call it 14. You wonder here, maybe you call a timeout. You got a second down and 14. And let's see, that's exactly what Fort Scott's going to do. We're going to take one with him. You listen to the Conk Radio Network.
30?
Yeah. I think you had to right there, because if it was second down and like 7 or 6, then you don't take it. But being it's second down 14.
We're at the gust of 38 or 48 or whatever you said it was. Holy cow.
Really?
Wind picked up big time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And the wind has just picked up even more. We're going to see if our crack meteorologist, still out the airport, just says 25 to 35. So
Well, we're at the upper end of the 35.
Okay. So Cameron, you're down there. You heard him talk to their defense there. What happened on that last coverage? Did you ever hear?
Yeah, they were confused on what coverage they were supposed to be in, if they were in cover 1 or cover 2 or what they were supposed to be in.
Okay, that's what we thought. Conks now, second down and 13 with 6 seconds.
Ball placed a little bit off.
Yeah. As folks, you can hear the sound of the wind in Cameron's headset. Here's a handoff to Minor. Minor breaks a couple of tackles, breaks a couple more, gets another one broken, and takes it up to about the 28-yard line. Or 34, excuse me. And guess who was in the middle of that? Mr. James King. And Tyler did all that on his own. And that's going to do it for the end of the third. So the Conks going to have a third down and 1, wind at their back. We'll take a break. You listen to the Conk Radio Network.
Dude, we were really lucky we
Yeah.
flag there.
Yeah,
I
but
could have sworn he threw one,
but look at Thomas. He's tailing the ref.
This is going to get really
well,
chippy.
I think the guy caught him on his neck and brought him, is what happened. But
hey, you don't know, man.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear myself in my headset.
Oh,
so.
you can't?
Nope.
I'll try to get you some better earbuds for the next game, okay?
Oh, man, that's going to get chippy.
Yeah, you bet it
I
is.
think every game we've had
it's
been
JUCO
chippy.
football, man.
Most of these kids are battling to go on.
Let me crank it up again here and see what we got.
Where are my stats? I know it just
we're
ended.
guessing up to 38 now. From 35 to 38.
That's it?
Yeah.
Try.
Get wind underneath the table. I don't even know how that's possible.
I mean, it's blowing tables and kicking nets and stuff over.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Conks will have a 3rd down and 1, and the wind is at their back. And this here is called field position in the 4th quarter. So Minor will come out with Walters. 3rd down and 1, big 3rd down here. Conks are going to go with 2 tight ends. And off to Minor. We're going to have a flag. I think we had movement over here as I think Minor jumped.
I believe he was supposed to be off the line and noticed last second that he was covering his tight end, if I had to guess anything. But
so they picked up the 1st down. But I think the penalty is going to be against the Conquistadors. Officials talking. That'll back him up 5, so now it's going to be 3rd down and 6. And these are kind of mistakes.
Well,
or no, they said Minor was actually short by a yard. And it's going to be 4th down and 1. Penalty to decline, so I thought Minor picked up the 1st down. So now they're going to go for it. Let's see if they're going to punt it away. Yep. So Thomas going to play the smart. You're up by 10.
No need to give them the ball on give them a present if you don't make it on the 35, 34. I completely agree with this one.
So Stevens will come on. Punt it away. Hempstead will stand on his own 30-yard line. Going to be a high snap. Stevens grabs it, and this time he gets a beauty off, and it's going to go bounce at about the 10. And the Conks are down it right at the 1-yard line. And, I thought they were going to – boy, I thought they waited a little too long. I thought it was going in the end zone, but what a play. 65-yard, wind aided. And the ball now is going to be put down on the 1-yard line.
I'm thinking the Conquistador punter is getting a little bit more dessert.
A little bit more dessert.
Let's be honest, he's had some amazing punts so far this game. Into the wind, with the wind, whatever. He's had some really good punts. Given great field position.
Pretty much defensive player of the game so far. So now the Greyhounds will have it right at the 1-foot line. Crum in the backfield. Conks chucking up to the line. Sharp throws it out in the flat. Open receiver makes the catch. Takes it up to the 30-yard line. And I think that is Harrison. Near the 30, going to mark him out at the 29. And I don't know, somebody's missing an assignment. So here's a handoff to Crum. Crum gets hit in the backfield. Nazir right there, along with a host of other Conks.
Conks looking like they're trying to strip the ball away and create some of their own turnovers here in the second half.
So now it's 2nd down and 5. As Sharp now trying to throw it, has to roll out and just bounces this one on the ground. Incomplete, 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, I believe the outside linebacker there changed the positioning of the defensive end, and he stood right where he wanted to throw the ball. I think that was a heads-up play by the outside linebacker over here, number 14.
And Thomas talking to the line judge about something. I think probably an ineligible receiver downfield. Now here comes Sharp going. He's going to throw this one, and that one just going to catch up in the wind and go incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 5. And I'm looking around. I don't see any laundry on the field, so 4th down and 5. And
I think that one would have been a little bit tough to actually catch. I don't think it was catchable for where his position was and where he was running. And they're going to come out and punt.
So they're going to come out and try to punt this one away. So now here is the punt, and this one's going to get caught up, and the Conks will just scatter as it'll be down near midfield. So a 15-yard punt into the wind. And the Conks will take over in Greyhound territory. So a much better job defensively that time, but the Conks did have him pinned back and let him out of there.
Like I said, it seems to me like a lot of their defensive players, their secondary, is kind of communicating, kind of trying to figure who's doing what the entire time. I don't know if it's maybe getting the call-out thing, or maybe with all this wind they can't hear the calls, which is very valid. I mean, having them helmets and having wind run through them, you're not hearing across the field like you would on a normal day.
Miner in the backfield with Walters. You got Watkins and Mills split out wide. Here comes the run blitz. They give it to Miner, and he gets hit by Jazauskas. So that's going to be a loss of 2 on that one. And that time, Jazauskas just lined up here on the outside and just basically split the offensive lineman. Conks will get set up. 4 wide receivers. Walters in the shotgun. Thomas changes the play. Clock runs, 12:50 to go, 33-23. Miner will switch around to the other side, down to 1. They get it off. Here comes the pass. Walters steps back, looking downfield, throws it. Pass is going to Ritchie. Ritchie takes it up ahead of the 30 and then went right through a Fort Scott defender's hand. And oh, how lucky was that, or that was going to be the second pick of the ball game.
Very heads-up play by Caden, and very lucky to say the least. You were right. It slipped right between the hands of a defender right there. But
Tyrese Ritchie right there for the big pickup. And that all the way up to the 27-yard line. So a gain of 24 on the pass play, and the Conks with a new set of downs. Trip split wide left. Walters calls out the play. Watkins, lone receiver here to the near side. Walters now is going to keep it himself, try to get to the outside and get tackled there. It'll stop the clock. In on the tackle, Tyrone Neal from his linebacker position. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. So Mills will split wide left. Ritchie will line up in the slot. Watkins here to the near side. Haley also in the slot.
A little bit of dust flying across the field.
Miner in the backfield. Thomas changes it. Walters looks. Gets the snap off. Dropping back, looking out in the flat. And that pass is going to sail on Caden. And that time the Conks just couldn't really get in, I think, what they wanted to get into there.
I think the ball just kind of got caught. It was a good ball that went out, and it just kind of went up and over a little bit more than I think Caden was really wanting it to.
You wonder here, you got 3rd down, you at least want to try to get 5 as McMullen and Linegar will check into the ball game. Haley and Ritchie will check out. Miner in the backfield. Wind really whipping now. Caden in the shotgun. Hands off to Minor, trying to get to the outside. Breaks one tackle, stops, breaks another. Minor still on his feet, hopping over defenders. Takes it all the way down to the 14-yard line. And Tyler Minor, he got 18 all his own.
I think he probably broke at least 6 tackles on that whole run. Just an amazing run by Minor.
So a gain of 13, and Minor was stopped 2 yards deep in the backfield and somehow got away. So the Conks with a new set of downs. They hand off to Minor. He heads straight up the middle, and this time he's going to pick up maybe a yard. So Minor, being a workhorse, so now Thomas will send in Ritchie and Haley. Coming out, it's going to be Liniger and McMullen. Conks will go trips here to the near side. Minor will stay in the backfield. Mills split wide left. Watkins wide right. Ritchie and Haley in the slot. They'll run the pitch. They'll get it to Minor. Minor will split his block there. Is holding up. Ritchie had a nice block on the cornerback. But that secondary of linebacker, or that free safety, Peterson, got through there and made the tackle. And a gain of a yard. Now it's 3rd down and 8. And here comes Murphy into the ball game along with Sacamano, the tight end. So the Conks are going to go 3 wide. Haley and Mills split wide left. Under 10 minutes to go. Conks up by 10. They'll switch the play up. Clock down to 3. Walters set. Hand off to Murphy. Murphy trying to get to the outside, following his blockers. Will take it down and get it to the, let's see, the 9-yard line. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 4.
And we got to give some props to Watkins on his blocking today. He's had a little bit of issues fumbling the ball, but it seems like if he locks up on somebody right there, he took his guy completely off the field.
So let's see. Conks are going to go for it. No, they're not. That's Guillory coming into the ball game. It'll be from the right hash. They'll get set up. The Greyhounds will have to call a timeout as they either had too many guys on the field or not enough. And we'll take a break with them. You'll listen to the Conk Radio Network.
Literally all he'll have to do is put it up in the air towards the goalpost, and the wind will carry it.
And get it aimed right.
Yeah, just get it aimed towards the goalpost and over the defensive line.
The bench over there got blown over.
Oh, it's blowing all kinds of stuff over.
See how long?
30.
Okay, you got 10.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Conks with a 4th down and 5. Guillory on to try the 27-yarder. This is...
Now, Kate Walters came out to hold here. I kind of wonder if we're seeing something a little bit tricky.
This here is, well, this will match his longest of the season. Good snap, hold down, kick up, and it is good. So the 27-yarder, Conks back up by 13. 8:50 to go. You listen to the Conk Radio Network.
How long?
Minute. I got out fast. Are you cold, man?
A little bit, man. I have to sit here with the crack. You're cursing me with the cold air that just slips through the small little...
You don't think it's blown over here at all?
I don't think it's blown over there as much.
I I could just pipe my computer. I need to reinstall Windows 7 because my computer's got something in there. It just keeps it running all the time. So it's hot. So my water bottle's hot. Feel it.
Oh, wow.
Do. Think this one's going through? You think Guillory's going to leave it short again?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here's the kickoff, and it's going to go through the end zone. The Greyhounds will get it. First and 10 at their 25. Conks up 36-23. Damon Post, Cole Trent, Cameron Burney, and the always entertaining little voice you hear through the airways, Miss Amanda Miller back at the station. Which actually, you only hear that on the internet feed. So now the Greyhounds will try to have to get something going into this win. Simonot in the ball game for the Conquistadors. You got Henry, Lockhart, and Wright are your backers. Cremiti, the other cornerback, as Rajon Crenshaw still at. Dakota Anderson and Kobe Perry are your safeties. Now dropping back, looking out to pass in the flat. Is going to be incomplete. They tried to set up a wide receiver screen over on the far side.
Honestly, with this wind, I'm betting any kind of passing game into the wind is going to be pretty tough, especially with a little bit of dirt that you can kind of see this flying through the field.
I say I wouldn't bet that they're able to throw it further than about 10, 15 yards down the field.
There you go. Cameron Burney piping in there. Thank you, sir. Here's a handoff to Crum trying to get to the outside, and the Conks right there with him. He'll pick up maybe a half yard. So that's going to be, here comes the flag in late, and that's going against the Conquistadors.
This is one of them things that the Conquistadors have struggled with. Late in the game, just keep your mouth shut after you make a big play. It's all good. You can celebrate after the game.
So Henry, unsportsmanlike, that's going to move it up ahead 15 yards and give the Greyhounds a first down at the 41-yard line. So the Conks will go at the four-man front. 4 wide receivers. Here's a handoff to Crum, and Crum gets hit right away by Henry. Henry will fall ahead and pick up about 3, and that's going to bring up second down and 7. 8:15 to go and counting. Conks up 36-23. Second down and 7. Sharp in the shotgun, dropping back, looking out to his left. Throws it this one up in the wind. Anderson trying to make a tippy-toe catch. Did he get his feet in? What a play by Dakota Anderson coming from the free safety position. Picking it off and tight roping down the sideline. And how did he get his feet in?
I thought that ball was so far out of bounds whenever he reached up and got his hands on it. That was an amazing catch by Anderson.
Yeah, he did get both feet down in.
And what, Cameron?
Inbounds.
Inbounds, okay. We didn't hear you. You got to have the mic close to your mouth there. Now, you know with the wind.
I know it's windy. That ball was headed straight towards me. I'm standing back here on the track, and the wind just caught that one.
And Anderson with a big interception. And the Conks key here in the second half. No turnovers. Now that I jinx them, they'll hand off to Walker. Walker will take it ahead, spin away from the first defender, and keep driving and pick up a couple of yards there.
I think we got Walker there got stopped by a defensive lineman. I think after he realized he wasn't getting out, he just started driving and pushing his feet.
And now Walker's going to come out. Let's see. May got a stinger on his arm. Sacamano will check in along with Liniger. Conks are going to go 2 tight end set. Watkins will come out. Murphy in the backfield. Now they'll change the play up. Hand off to Murphy. Murphy scoots through the line and going to pick up about 3. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Conquistadors. With the wind at their back, would you pass it or keep pounding it?
I think in order to keep this drive alive, I personally would. I'd try to get a first down here, put the ball up in the air, and then try to keep driving it. Because the reality of it is, what are you going to run off, another 30 seconds or so? I think it's overall a safer job. Just try to get the first down. If you don't get the first down, kick it away. 30 seconds should not be the difference in this game. Should not.
2 tight ends set, 2 wide receivers. They'll put Minner in motion, bring him over to the left. Now they hand off to Murphy. Murphy tries to get through the gap, and he's going to get knocked down.
We have yet to see the Hippo package in this game.
Coming up. I know, we haven't seen Hippo yet here. Coming up making that tackle was Morgan from his safety position. Neconk's going to be just fine with punting it away. 6:08 to go, 36-23. So Stevens with Hempstead back deep. Going to kick from the 41. This one here is going to go down. Hempstead's going to bobble it. It's going to be in the end zone, and he's going to be knocked down, and that should be, let's see, that's going to be a safety. So the Conks get the safety, and they go up 38-23, and that's the first safety of the season. And the officials are talking it over now. Let's see what they're going to say. As he said, he called a fair catch, but then he bobbled it. And the officials are huddled together in the end zone.
I mean, I believe that's a safety. He
I think
made
it's a
contact
safety.
in front of the end zone. I think if you make contact with it in front of the end zone and then fall on it in the end zone, it's still
whether
safety,
you call
is
a fair catch or not. Because he called fair catch, but then he lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a touchback. The one official had come over and said that he had made the first call was safety in the end zone. But now they said BNZ didn't have control of it. They'll get it at the 20, so the defense will come out. Simonot out at cornerback. Nazir right. Linebacker, they hand off to Crum, and Crum nowhere to go. Lakia Henry with a big tackle. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Lakia Henry's really stepping up his game here in this final couple minutes of the 4th quarter. He has been on almost every single tackle defensively, it seems like.
5:20 to go. Sharp dropping back, going to try to put one up in that wind, and the pass is going to be knocked away at the last minute. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Edward Aldred. And right there, I think you're going to have to go to the short routes, crossing underneath, go back to your slant routes. So Crum will come out. Abrams will check in, and Abrams, who's a wide receiver, it just moved him to tailback here at the latter part of the season. Now they're going to go 5 wide. Conks, you wonder, they got a 4-man front, and now I think we got movement. And let's see who that's going to be on. That's going to be false start against the offense. Checking in will be Miles Meyer for the Conquistadors along with Morris. Morris with 2.5 sacks and 3 tackles for loss on the season. They bring him in to come off that edge rushing. So now they'll go back to 4 wide receivers. Here comes the blitz off the edge. They throw it, and the pass is going to be dropped That's Abrams, a wide receiver.
And we got a flag on the play. It looks like roughing the passer.
5:10 left to go in the ball game. 36-23. Conks up by 13. That's going to go against Meyer, and that's going to be a 15-yarder.
I will give Meyer some slack on that. He was pretty well in the tackling, pretty well just as the quarterback threw the ball. I think when you're that big, it's a little bit tough to stop yourself.
6'2", 335. It's a little tough to slow down the train.
Yeah, I think that's where you got to give it up to physics, and that's just not.
Sideline warning against Fort Scott. So that'll be 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line. So Sharp in the shotgun. They'll go 3 wide receivers, one here to the near side. Play action pass. Sharp now felt the pressure, was going to tuck it up, take it himself. Now he thought about throwing it, but then realized he was over the line of scrimmage. Picks up about 3 or 4.
If you're the Greyhounds, you've got to probably start running that hurry-up offense if you want to have a shot in this game with only basically 5 minutes left in the game.
Now here's Sharp, hands off to Crum. Crum tries to cut back, going to pick up the 1st down. That'll stop the clock. Now it looks like Fort Scott may have an injured player. Nope, he's up, going to get back in there.
Few players getting up a little bit slower as the game progresses.
Conks will go back to the 4-man front. 1st and 10, Sharp dropping back. Looking over the middle, Lakia Henry coming up. Sharp makes him miss and takes it ahead into Conk territory at the 45-yard line. And Lakia had him sighted in, just got a little too excited.
Yep, just a little bit too. And we have a down Conk.
There's a Conk down on the field.
Ooh, and it's looking like a shoulder.
Always with the positiveness.
Dana Lockhart.
Dana Lockhart, number 14. Down outside linebacker. Coffeyville, 14-7, still on top. Our game, they got 26-14 at halftime. That's not right. It's actually 36-23 here. Looking at the website, try to get you some update. 31-3, Alabama on top. Georgia 40-21 over Missouri. Ohio State 49-7 over Nebraska. 21-7 Utah over USC. And you got South Florida 30-3 over Cincinnati. Michigan State 17-6 over Minnesota. And that's game. Little game's going on a little bit later. So Lockhart out of the ball game. They'll bring in Lamar Mullins, his backup. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the Conk 44-yard line. Sharp dropping back to pass, looking over the middle, and the pass is going to be broken up at the last minute. Getting his hands in there was Nazir Wright. And that brings up 2nd down and 10. The official now talking to Kobe Perry.
Yeah, Perry very wanted to make sure he knew that the ball was not caught.
Here comes the blitz off the edge. Sharp has to throw the screen to Crum, and he gets hit right away. And that's Kobe Perry coming up with a big hit.
And Perry smartly backing his way out of the pile.
So now 3rd down and 10. The Conks will sub in another D lineman, 4 wide receivers. Conks will put Nazir Wright. He'll go off this stunt. Catch is going to be made far side by Abrams, and he's going to be stopped well short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up 4th down and 6. And with under 4 minutes to go, you got to go for it here. So this.
And there is a penalty, I'm assuming.
And there's a penalty on the field.
Yeah, and Perry looks like he's accepting it.
Well, that was a long time coming.
As it was called up here in the press box, if he were to do it one more time, he would.
Yep. Sometimes you just got to do your job and go on.
Like we said, it seems like it's always the fourth quarter that we end up catching a little bit more of an attitude than we have the rest of the game and wanting to celebrate and do a little bit extra.
36-23. And now the officials are bringing everybody in. And I think they're going to have a talk with him about this John and stuff.
Circle time.
And the officials, I think this is a wise move. First time we've seen this year. And I think it's something
should be used a little bit more often.
Should be used a little bit more often.
Better than having a game that just ends up having penalties thrown every play.
Cox, four-man rush, they'll start one. They give it to Crum. Crum trying to get to the outside, and he's not going anywhere. Coming up there was Nazir Wright along with Lakia Henry for the tackle. No gain on the play. Second down and 10, and the clock runs with 3:35. Cox will sub in now. Morris will come into the ball game. Nazir Wright will crunch down inside. Sharp looking out to his right. Now trying to roll out. Has a man. Catch is going to be made and then dropped. Let's see. Are they going to say, nope, incomplete. Coming up there was Kobe Perry to make the play, and the clock is stopped with 3:17 to go.
And Perry smartly gets up, celebrates for about a second, and backs off.
So third down and 10 for the Greyhounds. Tripp split wide right. Now Sharp going out in the flat. They got a guy open in the end zone. Touchdown, and the Conks. Miscommunication, did not have the guys in the right place. And now it's a 7-point ball game, pinned in the extra point. And you know what's coming up? With 3:10 to go, it's going to be onside kick time.
Yeah, you could tell that there's something blown because we had, I believe it was an outside linebacker lined up on the near side of the field, and then as he realized, started sprinting to where he was supposed to be.
And then he was just running in open grass.
Yeah.
High snap, kick up, and it's blocked. Coming in there, getting a block, Kobe Perry. The Conks get it back, and let's see, can they take it downfield? Running with the ball is number 9, or no, that's Jordan Simonot. Simonot taking it all the way to the 40 and now comes down with it. And Simonot's worn out. With 3:10. Kobe Perry coming up with a blocked extra point. And the Conks lead is now 7, which is a lot more comfortable than 6.
Definitely. Now it's time for the hands team to go out and do their job.
I couldn't tell who had it. I knew it was either Nazir or Jordan, and I thought it was Nazir.
I thought it was Nazir as well until he got just right here in front of us. Giving a little bit of a stiff arm to his own teammate there. I was actually thinking he stiff armed Nazir at one point.
So now the hands team will come out, and we saw the Conks have problems with the onside kick fielding it. In a game earlier this season.
And let's see if Murphy has an opportunity to maybe, I doubt they're going to kick it to him, but.
I really doubt. Conks will have to get up. The ball's got to go to the 45-yard line. Murphy will be back all by himself. Conks, all their wide receivers in their hands team will be up front. Walters, Walker, Morton. And here it comes. They'll overstack the right side. And the onside kick will be grabbed by the Conks. That's Watkins. Watkins will fall down on it at the 45-yard line. Greyhounds with just one timeout left.
Watkins thought about trying to take that one.
Thought about it.
I think as he ran towards Coach Thomas,
they just said, get down. And the Conks,
I believe they're pointing at the clock as if maybe the clock didn't start.
36-29, and no, I think they were pointing scoreboard.
Oh, my apologies.
So the Conks need to pick up one first down here. Callahan talking to his defense. And Cameron, you don't need to go down there. We know it's not going to be good. How's that? So Walters will have Miner in the backfield. McMullen will be in at fullback. Sacamano in at tight end. Minner and Mills split out wide. Pitch it out, get it to Miner. Miner makes one man miss and is going to lose about 4. And that time, the Greyhounds just shot the gap. Under 3 minutes to go. Landgren talking to his offensive line. So McMullen will come out. Haley will check into the ball game. Play clock down to 17, 2:36 to go in the ball game, 36-29. Play clock now down to 4. Conks, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top. They give it to Miner. Miner makes a guy miss, has the corner far side, cuts it up out across midfield, and takes it all the way down to the 39-yard line of the Greyhounds.
Unfortunately, I think he got himself out of bounds, so they're going to have to run another play in order for the clock to start back up for him.
No, I think once they get it set, if he runs out of bounds, the clock will get going. So now the Conks should be able to milk it. The Greyhounds have not used their last time out yet. As Miner will stay in at tailback, and you just got to get more than one hand on Tyler. Alters now, hands off to Miner. Miner sees a hole and watches it close fast as he picks up a couple. Second down and 8 for the Conquistadors. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line of the Greyhounds. So Thomas wanting to run the clock down. And I imagine the Greyhounds will probably use their timeout after this play right here. They get a stop. Coming up, minute 16. Now 15. Walters in the shotgun. Snap it with 1 second left. They get it to Miner. Miner gets held up right at the line. No gain on the play. And now the Greyhounds want to take a timeout with 58 seconds. And you like my coach talk right there?
Well,
hold him for a short gain. You use your timeout here with 58.2. So the Conks lead it 36-29. We'll step away. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network.
30?
Yeah. God, there is no good games on tonight. I'm glad we're playing tonight.
Why?
Well, because there wouldn't be any games worth watching. $30 just on this.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Conks will have a 3rd down and 8 with 58 seconds to go. They lead by 7. Thomas talking to his offense. Kalik Washington out of the ball game. It's like he twisted an ankle. He is on the sideline. So Miner will be in the backfield. And boy, you're going to have maybe Coe. offensive players of the game in this one. As Minor will take it ahead and pick up a couple of more, and it'll be 4th down. And we'll call it about 6.
I'm betting we're going to run the clock out. I'm sure Thomas will take his time out and then punt it, wouldn't you think? Try to return some good.
Thomas deciding on the sideline. It's going to be, there's about 11-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. As he's getting near the official right here, let's see. He's telling him when that clock gets down to such and such, I want to take my timeout. And there he goes. He takes it, and that's Conk's final timeout with 12.7 seconds to go. And let's see what he's going to do here. Maybe do you hike it and just let Caden run around for a while?
I think
or do you punt it?
I think you try. Punter's had a really good game so far. I think you let him punt it, try to see if you can get it on the 5-yard line. Even if it's down to the 20, do nothing but prevent the
How are
defense.
they going to try to throw a Hail Mary into this window?
That's what
I
I'm
say
saying.
you run it.
Really? You think you just...
I think you run it. You try to run it. I don't think you punt
a double reverse?
Yep. You do something. You do something crazy. You don't try to get it and swap it from too many hands. But let's see. It looks like Thomas, he's got the offense out there. He's going to go for it, folks. Conks lead at 36-29. As the defense, the Fort Scott defense is waiting to see what they do. And Thomas going to go for it as Mills comes over, closes his hands. And there'll be a little bit of praying. Walters will trot out onto the field. Walters with 5 touchdown passes in the ball game. So Minor in the backfield. 4th down and 6, we'll call it. Ball at the 35-yard line. They'll slide McMullen across. They're going to roll Caden out. Caden looking back. Going to throw it down. Looking in the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete with 6.3. And now the Greyhounds are going to have to do something with 6.3 seconds and no timeouts. And I think Caden was just supposed
to take up some time.
Take up some time and chuck it down in the end zone. So Haley's going to go back deep. And the Conks are going to be playing prevent here. 6 seconds to go. You got to count players on the field. There's 11 out there. Simonot there.
I'm surprised we even have one actual defensive lineman and not just full-on rush
Williams.
unit.
So Sharp going to throw it. Here's the hook and ladder maybe, and Sharp's going to go down. No, he's going to pitch it back, give it to Crum. Crum tries to throws it, catches it as it gets knocked back to him. Oh, they're trying to run it out as Abrams finally going to get knocked. It's a fumble, and that's going to do it. The Conks move to 4-4 on the season, 1-3 in conference play. We'll be back with the Joy Chiropractic post-game wrap-up show. You're listening to the Conk Radio Network. Okay. How was that? Look at that happen.
That's pretty crazy. We're about to hit Birdie with the...
Who's player of the game? You got to go Co.
Huh?
You got to go Minor and Walters. You got to go 2. We got to look at the stats on Tyler, though.
I think I'm going to go with Walters. Walters had a lot of smart plays all game long, but this
I
is
don't
actually
know,
pretty
man.
tough. It's pretty tough. All the running backs had good games, in my opinion.
Everybody going in. 30, okay. Oh, really? Okay. All righty, Cameron, did he go in, or you think he's coming out?
I'm not real sure. Yeah, I'll stay down here for a minute just in case he does. But
okay, we'll go over the stats up here.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, I do. Just give me 30 here. Come back. Mine are only, yeah.
I think we got to go Walters.
Okay, got to go Walt. Ooh, 13 to 23.
I just give it to Walters.
I say 230 some yards, though.
I mean, what did the running backs have?
Okay, here we come. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Your final Conks move back to 500. They moved to 1-3 in conference. They win at 36 to 29. Welcome. It's the Joy Chiropractic post-game wrap-up show. Joy Chiropractic, taking care of all your aches and pains. And they sent me a little reminder in the mail this week. At different parts of your back heal different things in your body. So you go down, you see them. It's got like I can't even pronounce those. We need your brother here to pronounce all these bones. Yeah.
Maybe we could call him up on the phone and get him on here.
Yeah, but he does it because it's like if you got your blood supply to the head, you got to go up here, the sympathetic ganglion. Yeah, all that stuff. He sends that in the mail to remind you to come in and see him. That's Dr. Jason Joy. He's located at 900 West Frontview. Phone number 225-8677. Taking care of sports injuries, soft tissue repair, acupuncture, you name it, he's got it. It's Joy Chiropractic. Okay, we go down here. Conks rushing yards, 57 for 225 yards. Fort Scott 41 for 128. Passing yards, Fort Scott 231 yards. Conks 239 in the ball game. Fort Scott though 18 of 44 with 2 interceptions. Conks 13 of 23, 1 interception. Total offensive plays, Fort Scott 85 for 359 yards. Conks 80 plays for 464 yards. We go down to interceptions. Conks 2 picks in the ball game, 3 return yards. Fort Scott with just the 1 pick. Punts in the ball game, you had Stevens 44-yard average in the game. And then you fumbles, Fort Scott 2, they lost 1. Conks 3 fumbles, they lost 3. Penalties, Conks 9 penalties, 102 yards, 8 penalties, 92 yards for Fort Scott. Time of possession, though, Conks started the ground and pound game, 38 minutes there. Fort Scott with just 21. Third down conversions, Conks 6 of 16, 6 of 19 for the Greyhounds. Fourth down conversions, 2 of 2 for Fort Scott, 1 of 2 for the Conks. Red zone chances, Conks 3 of 4 in that one. Fort Scott 2 of 2. Rushing yards, Murphy with a 4.5-yard average. He had 77 yards total. Minor 83 yards. He had 3.8-yard average. Walker 50 yards in the ball game, 3.8 average. And Walters 5 carries with a 3.4 average. As we said, Caden's numbers 13 to 23, 1 interception, 239 yards, 5 touchdowns. 66 was the longest pass completion for a touchdown. Receiving, Watkins with 3 in the ball game, Haley with 2 and a touchdown, Mills with 2 and a touchdown, Minor with 1 and a touchdown. Kick returns, Murphy just the 1 return for 30 yards. Tackles, Dakota Anderson 9.5 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. Henry 9.5 tackles, 1 sack, 2.5 tackles for a loss. Perry 7 tackles in the ball game, 1 tackle for a loss. Leading rusher for Fort Scott, you had Sharp with 56, the quarterback, then Crum with 49. Sharp ends up 18 of 44, 2 interceptions, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns. 29 was the longest. He was sacked 5 times today. Receiving, Aldridge with 7 catches, 95 yards. Harrison 6 with 66 yards. Tackles, Tyrone Neal, 13 tackles in the ball game. Raquan Morgan with 12 tackles in the ball game, 1 tackle for a loss. And Chazuzik, 9 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. And it's time to pick the Dodge City Dental Care player of the game. Dodge City Dental Care located at 2300 North 14th, Suite 202. Set up an appointment today. They cover all family dentistry. Need a crown, just need your teeth checked. You go ahead and see Dr. Cody or Dr. Williams. They will get you taken care of, get you in and out. That's Dodge City Dental Care. Phone number 225-2650, and we're going to go offensive player of the game. Caden Walters, 13 of 23, 1 interception, 239 yards, 5 touchdowns in the ball game. That's the big number.
Yeah, I mean, Caden throughout the game, not including his touchdowns, he made a ton of just intelligent plays. He knew what he needed to do. He knew when to throw the ball away. The only big exception to that was the only big mistake he made all game was that 1 interception, and that was throwing into the wind rather early in the game. I mean, he really didn't have a whole lot of chance to warm up against it on a live field. I think Caden had an overall just an amazing game. He played very smart.
And what I think that it's not showing up here is the mistakes he didn't make that didn't show up in the that don't show up on the stat sheet is a lot of headsy plays today, getting the timeouts called, getting the snaps off when they were running down, and just an overall great effort by him today. Now for the defensive player of the ball game, brought to you by Diamond Roofing, located at 100 East McCarter Street, taking care of all residential and commercial needs. Give them a call at 225-6777. Who do we go with there? I'm almost thinking Mr. Stevens in the ball game. He's a punter.
I would agree with you. He put him, 3 times with perfect field position?
Perfect field position, and the punts that he had into the wind were at least going 35 yards. So I think that is huge. And look, Cameron's down there at Coach Thomas. Go ahead, Cameron. Coach, want to jump on here? Coach, we hung on again, buddy.
A win's a win. We'll take it and we'll get out of here and try to get into next week and hopefully get some things figured out.
Okay, I think the big play of the game was Caden back there when we're going into the wind, avoided that sack and got out here to where we could put them back when we punted into it in the third quarter. I thought that was a huge play today.
Yeah, we did, besides the 4 turnovers in the first half, I thought we did some things okay. I wish we could have put away, a couple of things run game wise here and made this a little more comfortable. Just disappointed in our defense. We're 8 weeks in and we got some issues over there. And we're playing with 10 people. We have 45 yards in penalties just on our defense on that last drive, and that's embarrassing. They need to take a real hard look at how they're operating on that side of the football, and they need to get some things fixed.
Alrighty.
Coach Thomas, I have a question for you. It seemed like there's a lot of communication in the secondary, like they were confused the whole time. Were they unable to hear? Were the calls not getting out clearly? What was exactly going on with them just, kind of getting a little bit mixed up?
Well, we're constantly checking things in the secondary based on formation and based on call. So sometimes the defense is going to get changed based on the formation they come out in. We have multiple calls, so they've got to communicate with each other and talk to the corners and check coverage. So they're constantly talking back there, and again, they can't hear. I could barely hear on the sidelines guys that were standing next to me. So, with a helmet on and with an ear hole, it's even more difficult to hear. So I think some of the arm gestures and things like that were more so frustration and trying to be animated about getting our calls in. But I don't think we had too many. We had a couple communication errors, but I think most of them weren't communication errors. It was just attempting to communicate.
All right,
I gotcha.
I got one more thing, Coach. I'll let you go. Your punter played a hell of a game today.
Yeah, Chad had a really good game today, and I'm proud of him. He's a good kid, and he struggled at times this year to find some consistency, and it helps when you got a 60-mile-an-hour wind to your back.
But I thought
he
into the wind.
Yeah, he did. He kicked the ball really well in the wind. Yeah. Luckily for him, he gets to practice it a lot. So
right.
That's where the home field advantage really does come into effect.
All righty, Coach. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet. Get warm.
All right.
Coach Gary Thomas here with us, coming out there, braving the elements along with the boy Cameron Burney down there. He earned his money today, didn't he?
I was about to say, I think Thomas was getting a little bit cold. I almost heard him shivering that down there.
Yeah,
he was a little bit. He wasn't the only one. You guys talking about braving the elements at the start of the game. It was more towards the end.
Yeah, it's more towards the end, wasn't it? Well, your final, 36-29. Conks moved to 4-4 on the season. For Mr. Cameron Burney, Cole Trent, and the lovely Miss Amanda Miller back at the station producing our broadcast, thank you for listening. We will see you next week, Garden City at Buster Stadium. Remember, folks, there is a God, and he does have a sense of humor. See you Saturday night.
Okay, I gotcha.
Thanks, Amanda.
Yep, see you next week.
All right, kiddo. Talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Holy moly. Hey, I can tell you,